It has been an intense rivalry through the years, and this year will be no exception. The only team to beat the Cherokee Chiefs in this decade from the Liberty Division is the Chimeras. Next up on Channel 8 Sports, it's the Chiefs and the Chimeras as they renew their battle as two powerhouses in the Liberty Division. That's next on your local source for sports. Star Cable presents from Carl Lewis Stadium in Willingboro, New Jersey. It's Star Cable's 1987 high school football season. Tonight's game featuring the Chiefs of Cherokee at the Chimeras of Willingboro. Hi everyone, I'm Gene Prince, and with me tonight Steve Salkin as we get a look at the Cherokee Chief marching band here at Carl Lewis Stadium. And Steve, welcome to our program.
Thanks a lot, Gene. It's going to be a great ball game tonight. I'm really looking forward to getting this one underway.
You know, Steve, there's certain games within the county that regardless if it's Liberty or Freedom, they feel the excitement and the anticipation of a key game, and this definitely is one this week.
It certainly is, Gene. The Chiefs riding atop the Liberty Division, and the Chimeras should be even with them, but an upset by Rancocas Valley last weekend kind of knocked them down on the totem pole a bit, so they want this one pretty badly to stay in control of the Liberty Division along with Cherokee.
All right, the Chiefs, of course, coached by Jim Horner, who, including this year's 4 wins, is exactly 89, 21, and 6. He won this year 38-31 over East Brunswick in their opener, won 31-6 over highly regarded Chester, PA in the second week. He then had an idle week. In week number 3 for him, they won against Rancocas Valley, a team that you said upset Willingboro last week by the score of 15-11. And last week, they beat Holy Cross in a tight one, 21-14. So all their games, Steve, very tight within the Liberty.
It certainly was, and Rancocas Valley trying to make some waves in this Liberty Division, playing Cherokee very close, and as some of the Cherokee people told us, they felt maybe a little fortunate to escape that one with a victory, and of course they upset Willingboro last week.
All right, some of the key players we'll look to tonight for Cherokee. Number 26, Phil Robinson, had a big game last week, and he's had a few this year. Robinson running out of that halfback spot. And it always seems Cherokee has a great runner.
They certainly do, and of course that leads to great teams. Great running attack is part of that. That sets up your passing attack, and the great runner is something the Chiefs have always had.
All right, and of course at quarterback, their junior quarterback, Bobby Frantz, who we saw last year at Cherokee, beat the Chimeras in a final minute drive to lead his team to victory 7-3. Frantz is somebody that Willingboro is going to have to contain also, as he can also scoot with the ball.
He's 5'11", 175, Gene, and 5'11" gives him a great deal of height. He's able to see over that offensive line and that defensive line very well, and that can be a great advantage. He can see what kind of defenses Willingboro is going to throw at him.
And of course, when you think of Cherokee, you think of defense, and when their defensive stalwarts are number 89, John Moore, and Moore at defensive end, who had some problems this year with Jim Horner a little bit on the personal end, seemed to have reconciled that and is back on the Cherokee Chief roster, and I am sure he will have a big game here tonight. While we're talking about containment of those Willingboro backs and Donald Crump and Terrell Leonard, they have a great linebacking core, and Steve, you can tell me a little more about that.
Well, leading the way on the inside will be senior Mike Bettino. He's 5'11", 190, and junior Mike Riley, 5'10", 195. They're going to be trying to sew up the middle and not letting Donald Crump for Willingboro come up the inside as he is wont to do. On the outside, they may be in some trouble. Brett Reisner is a leading outside linebacker for him, but Dean Plummer, their other one, is out until the middle of the season. He had his thumb cut off in a construction accident before the season started. He's expected to be back in the middle of the season. Reisner, meanwhile, is just coming off a bruised thigh, so he will be hurting as well. So that's going to cause some trouble. Behind them, a couple of big guys, Rick Ellsworth, a 5'8", 165 senior, John Bianco, 5'10", 170 junior. So the backups replacing those injured players, or at least hobbled players, are capable as well.
Oh yes, Jimmy Horner has been noted for one thing through the years. It's been depth in his lineup, and he needs it this year. He's facing a huge challenge with all the injuries. Now let's switch the coin a little bit as we see the Willingboro Chimera band right there. Let's talk about those Chimeras. Here on homecoming 1987, they have to be fired up, and they're coached by Ty Balford, who, including this year's record of 3-1, is 34, 12, and 1. And in week number 1, he won over Shawnee 29-0. He won the second week here at Carl Lewis Stadium against Lenape 26-8. Won at Cinnaminson in a game that we had, Steve, 2013, and lost last week to RV 26-20. And his key players have got to be number 20, Donald Crump, the running back, Mark Collins, his quarterback, Todd Lane, who's a huge force for him, both on offense and defense. And this might be the key tonight, the kicker, Nate Harris.
Yeah, Nate Harris really impressed us over when we did the game at Cinnaminson. He was in practice hitting consistent 35-yard field goals. Todd Lane, you mentioned, we saw a lot of him against Cinnaminson. He's really going to be a force. You mentioned big. I'll tell you just how big he is. He's 6'2", 225. Now, you don't get too many high school kids that size, and when he comes running at you, if you're a guy with the ball, you're going to want to go down.
All right, let's take a look at our sponsors for the 1987 football season. There they are, C.S. Heels Farm Market on Salem Road in Burlington Township. Stop on in. I'll tell you, he's got the greatest produce around. Ricky's Army and Navy, Route 130, north in Delran. Ricky's Army and Navy has the greatest in camping gear, and of course, a lot of people thinking about doing that this time of the year. By Morgan's Tire Service on Salem and Sunset Road in Burlington Township. By Liberty Toyota, Route 130 in Burlington. A Riverside Savings and Loan with offices located throughout Burlington County. By Cherry Hill Nissan, located Route 38 across from the Cherry Hill Mall. By Thomas Buick on Route 38 in Mount Holly. And by Triborough Pontiac on Route 130 in Cinnaminson, New Jersey. There are sponsors for tonight. Well, the stage is set here at Carl Lewis Stadium. We'll have the opening kickoff and the referees right after this. Welcome back here to Carl Lewis Stadium. Steve Salk and Gene Prince. That's a very fired up group right there, the Chimeras that you see. 64, Todd Lane, captain, and Donald Crump, captain, meet there at the 50s. And out there for the Cherokee Chiefs, Brett Reisner, number 32. And the other captain didn't get to see right now.
Umpire Joe Schwartz.
The other captain, let's see. As we look down our rosters, Cherokee has had a lot of changes in their roster, like we said, and we thank Brian Drosnes, who happens to be one of their players that came up here and explained the roster changes, because he himself is not going to be playing here tonight.
Gene, before the coin toss, let's run down the officials real quick for you. Got a lot of them tonight to cover that field. Referee is going to be Cliff Matthew. The umpire, Joe Schwartz. The line judge, Jim Beach. Judge Charlie Greco. Back judge, Tom McLarney. And the other back judge, Anthony Aaron. Our clock operator will be William Bisbing.
All right, a very, very experienced group here at Carl Lewis Stadium. That other captain is Rich Hearn, number 63. So it's Hearn and Reisner for Cherokee, and again, Todd Lane and Donald Crump. This will be a superb football game, people, so sit back and enjoy this one.
Some key notes, Gene, that we just found out. Mike Patino, who we mentioned in the pregame show, linebacker, is off the squad. He is quit. He will not play, so that's going to hurt the Chiefs. And also, we heard before the game, Chris Connor, the starting center for Cherokee, has a broken fibula. He played last week. They thought it was just a sprain. They found out during the week it's broken, so he will not play either.
Just part of the problems that Coach Jim Horner is having, but you know, there's not a lot of coaches around here in the Liberty Division who feel sorry for him, because he's still 4-0. It looks like the Chiefs have won the toss and have elected to receive, so Willingboro will be kicking off here to start off this first half. As we're just about ready to go here from Carl Lewis Stadium, we'll return with the opening kickoff right after these commercial messages. Welcome back here to Carl Lewis Stadium. Gene Prince, Steve Salkin, just moments away here from kickoff. Steve, any last comments before we get this one underway?
Yeah, we were just informed again by Cherokee that the replacement for Chris Connor is Gavin Siegel, 5'11", 230-pound senior. So really not giving up any height, gaining a lot of weight in the center spot, but some experience is lost as well with Connor out.
All right. The Chimeras are on the field right now. Now the Chiefs invade Carl Lewis Field here. The Chimeras right there absolutely need a win here tonight to stay in the hunt.
I'll tell you, you know what, Gene? I bet Willingboro wanted to win that coin toss and get the ball first because I think they want to get up on top. So I think their defense is going to come out very fired up because they want to get on the board first and have Cherokee play catch-up instead of the other way around.
It is homecoming 1987 here for the Chimeras, and boy, was that strategically placed here against Cherokee tonight.
I'll tell you, usually homecoming is a game that you know you can win, but Willingboro has no such task tonight.
Yep. All right, doing the kicking honors again for Willingboro, number 3, and that is our man, Corey Sales. Back deep to receive for Cherokee. Ranking 40, and number 27, that's Robinson, and Robinson comes out to about the 28-yard line before he is popped by the special teams.
Willingboro with nice coverage downfield. They didn't let anybody get too far on the run back. Steve Everett was down there to make the tackle for the Chimeras. Cherokee will start at their own 28.5-yard line.
All right, it will be Bobby Frantz at quarterback. He'll have that Phil Robinson in the backfield with them, as this is a high-powered offense. Again, in the opening of this game, that's Mike Riley, and Riley's dropped for a loss of 2 as the Chimera defense has come out firing, like you just said.
Certainly has, and Todd Lane was in there to lead the way. You're going to be hearing a lot from that young man, as we did when the Chimeras played Cinnaminson. Todd Lane was all over the field, and he was in on the first hit.
So they'll break the huddle, and Shivo will split out wide. Again, one of their receivers, Sefarati, broke his wrist last week, so the injuries have just been insurmountable for Coach Jim Horner. And there's a flag on the completion from France to see. Number 3, that's Shivo, Ralph Shivo, the 5'9", 150-pound wide receiver.
You have to see what the call will be. As we mentioned, a lot of officials on the field tonight to cover this one.
It's a hold against the Chiefs, so the Chiefs will be marched back. But boy, you can see the arm that little Bobby France has as he really zipped that ball in the Shivo.
Certainly did, and that's one of his favorite targets. And we'll see a lot of him tonight as well.
All right, so they'll walk it off. It'll be a 10-yarder. And they'll move it back to the 17-yard line. So the Chiefs looking at here a second down and very, very long, as they have to come up to just about the 39-yard line. So they'll have to move it some 23 yards. As we see Bobby France, and there he is, and Jim Horner has to say, boy, I got him going early as a sophomore last year, just a junior this year, and still has a year to go. France is rushed, and he's brought down. Boy, the defense is fired up, and it's hard to see some of them numbers, but it looked like, is that 86 in on the play for Willingboro? I'll tell you, that defense just got in on France right there.
Sure did, and that's going to be a key. That's told you the defense is going to be fired up coming out for this one. And that time they were able to bring him down pretty easily, as he had Shivo all the way out near midfield along the sideline.
All right, they split out 3 wide receivers here, and they really flood the left side. And it's a screen pass in number 25, and he's brought down immediately, that being Frank Brancaforte. So France completes the pass, but for very little yardage. And we're looking at a 4th down and about 30 yards to go for first down, as the defense of the Chimeras has risen to the occasion here early.
They held Cherokee on their first possession, and now they're going to get excellent field position, as Cherokee will have to punt from their own end zone.
All right, back deep to receive, number 11. And we have official timeout on the field right now. so we can set the stage for you a little better here. So Cherokee punting from their own end zone right there. And that was a concern by Pizarro, and a bad kick. And the kick will drop down at about the 19-yard line of Cherokee. The Chimeras are in like Flynn right now as they'll take it 1st and 10 from the 19 of Cherokee with 9:19 on that clock.
Yeah, almost a costly mistake, too, by Steve Everett, number 43 for Willingboro. He tried to catch it over the shoulder with his back to the punter, and it looked like it hit his hand, and if Cherokee fell on that ball, that was their ball. However, he was able to come up with it. He should just let it bounce if it was that bad a punt.
All right, number 5, quarterback. I can't believe it. That's got to be number 6, Collins, and Collins gets about 2 yards. And boy, you can really see the bodies slamming around down there.
Certainly can. Number 84, John Moore, playing inside linebacker. He was right there, and he gave Crump a shot after that play was over, and Crump was looking for a penalty from the ref, but nothing came.
Let's give Collins 3, as Collins wearing number 5 in this one, not 6, as we saw him 2 weeks ago against Cinnamon. In the backfield, Donald Crump and Terrell Leonard. And it's Mr. Crump as he gets to the outside. Crump is down inside the 15, still on his feet, inside the 10, down to the 5-yard line, and it's 1st and goal for the Chimeras.
I'll tell you, that Donald Crump is something else. Every time you see him, he does something else. That time it took Kevin Pissarro along with about 4 of his teammates to push him out of bounds down near the goal line. But he had broken about 3 tackles before then. He had been stopped behind the line of scrimmage, stopped about 5 yards away, about 10 yards away, and then finally got pushed out of bounds.
Again, the defense has set up this possible scoring drive, and they're looking at a 1st and goal with 8 minutes on the clock here in quarter number 1. Put an extra log in the fire there and hang with us here tonight. It's going to be a beaut. Here's the handoff to Crump, the second man, touchdown Chimeras, and they get on the board early. Number 20 has got yet another touchdown this year.
Donald Crump, that time he went virtually untouched into the end zone over the right side. Great blocking by the Willingboro offensive line, and that's going to be another key battle today, to battle in the trenches between the offensive and defensive lines of each team.
All right. Well, Harris, the kicker, trying to 1-pointer. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 7:46 left here in quarter number 1, the Chimeras capitalize on their first offensive plays and go up 7-0. We'll be back. Welcome back here to homecoming night in Carl Lewis Stadium, and the cheerleaders have something to cheer about here as the Chimeras go up 7-0. And Mr. Salkin, you can give the scoring summary there to our folks at home.
3 plays, 19 yards, 5-yard touchdown run by Donald Crump. Harris's point after was good. 7:46 left, 7-0 Willingboro.
All right, Mr. Sales will kick a line drive in the direction of Robinson. He'll flag it at the 5 and move it to the 10, the 15, and he is really hammered to the turf at the 16-yard line. So the going is tough here early for the Chiefs, but don't count them out yet.
Looked like Steve Everett was in again on the hit for Willingboro, as he was last time the Chimeras kicked off to start the game.
All right, so Robinson can only bring it back to the 17 as the Chimeras there on their sideline cheering that defense on. All right, so 1st and 10, and Frantz sets him up in a pro set. Wants to throw, has a man out here in the flat, and it's incomplete. The number 81 for Cherokee, wide receiver Brian D'Angelo.
He was covered down there for Willingboro very well. I'm going to go with Jewel Dupree on the coverage for Darryl Cooper.
All right, some other key games we want to make mention throughout this Liberty Division this week. Pemberton at Rancocas Valley. And of course, Rancocas Valley on the upward move right now in this division, and they'll go against Pemberton as we're looking at Cherokee's 2nd and 10 from their own 18. Frantz, handoff, number 25, that's breaking 40, and he comes up over to 25 to the 26-yard line.
Steve Everett in there on the hit for Willingboro.
So Frank of 40 gets involved in the offense here. .650 now on the clock. 3rd down and about 2 for the Chiefs. As they'll spot it at the 26. Robinson hit behind the line of scrimmage, and he will not get the first down as that Chimera defense is growling here tonight.
It certainly is. That time it looked like one of the linemen.
So Frank at 40 after picking up 8, and now Robinson with the carry, and I'm not sure if he got to the first down marker or not here. They're going to stretch the chains.
Willie Washington made the tackle. They're going to credit him with the tackle. Fans are going to have to bear with us, Gene, because apparently we have the away Willingboro roster, and they are wearing their home numbers. So we're going to have to try and pick them up as our PA announcer gives them.
All right, it looks like it's short. So Jim Horner here. Decision time on a 4th down and less than 1. And they rustle in some players here. And I think he's going to go with him. Boy, is this quite a gamble here early, but he needs something to fire his team up, and shows a lot of confidence he has in that offensive line.
Only really needs a few inches, and he should be able to get it.
All right, so here we go. A big part early in this one. And Bobby Frantz picks up the first down easily. So a good decision by Horner as they really blew out the Willingboro Chimeras on that right side, and Frantz found some running room.
Yeah, it's very hard to defend a quarterback sneak, especially from getting a couple of inches, because all the quarterback really has to do is fall forward, and he's gained that couple of inches. That time he had plenty of room and got a couple of yards out of the deal.
All right, some other key games around the Liberty Division will be, as I said, Pemberton, Rancocas Valley. Also, Holy Cross is at Shawnee, and we'll give you the Freedom Division in just a minute. So we'll have scores all game long during press box. 5:50 on the clock, 1st and 10. And here's Mr. Robinson, 27, and he's going to be brought down at about the 30-yard line. Let's give him a pickup of a yard.
It looked like Corey Sales was in on the hit, as looked like he was stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They're going to give credit for the tackle to James Bailey.
Again, the Chimeras taking advantage of a bad punt here in quarter number 1 to go into the end zone early. And they lead 7-0 with 5 minutes and 15 seconds to go in quarter number 1 as you get a look at the Chiefs offense at the line of scrimmage. From the I formation, it's a pitch back to Phil Robinson. Robinson has some running room if he can turn the corner, and he does as he gets down inside the 35 to about the 38-yard line. So a good run that time by the Chiefs.
Finally knocked out of bounds by Willie Washington, wearing number 14 for the Chimeras. Washington, we noticed during this intermittent game as he plays both offense and defense, a lot of speed. And he's going to be able to keep up with those speedy Chimera runners, especially Chief runners, especially Phil Robinson.
All right, so Robinson picks up the first down on 9 yards on that carry. And the Chiefs have put together 2 consecutive first downs and have the ball at their own 39. From the I formation, Frantz rolls, feels the pressure, unloads, and he completes it across the middle. Good throw and catch, let's see who by number 89, and that 89 being Rich Nocella, 5'11", 195-pound tight end.
I'll tell you, Frantz couldn't have thrown that any better, because what he did was he made sure that ball was not going to be intercepted. Either Nocella was going to catch it right before it hit the ground, or nobody was going to catch it. It was going to be incomplete, and Nocella did a nice job of catching that football.
I look at the partisan crowd, and the crowd is on the increase as this game lingers on here. Frantz inside handoff. Looking at the fullback, might be Mike Riley, number 35, and Riley picks up the first down as he gets some tough yardage. So the Chiefs getting that offense moving here as they have put the ball now in the Chimera territory at the 48-yard line, and now the Chimeras are forced with a little challenge here to dig in.
Craig Green on the stop that time. Good misdirection play by Frantz. It looked like he was going to fade back again and just gave it to the first back through, and that's a good play to throw the defense off the trail.
Here's Coach Ty Balford as he's walking up and down the sidelines, and boy, games like this in the Liberty Division will cause that illness. Frantz looking deep, has a man out there, and it is complete. Number 80 out in the front, that's Chris Waraska, the 5'9", 155-pound wide receiver. And Waraska really put that ball right into the numbers end.
Just a junior, and Frantz just laid it up there for him, and you could see that one develop all the way. The Willingboro defender had been beaten, and he was just hoping that the ball might have been overthrown. But what a catch by Waraska, and now the Chiefs are in scoring territory, and they're trying to tie this game up.
All right, ball at the 16-yard line, the Chimeras. On a 1st and 10 for the Chiefs. From the I formation, Mike Riley, the first back, second back, Phil Robinson. And Frantz pulled away from center, so...
I think Willingboro jumped first, though, Gene. That's from my vantage point, but we'll have to see what the official calls. They may have been drawn off.
3:19 on the clock in quarter number 1, and we have an offside against the Chimeras. So the Chimeras.
That hurts even more. That makes it a 1st and 5 from the 10. Now Cherokee has plenty of options available right here. They can either go for the end zone, or they could just try and get the first down, which would give them a 1st and goal at the 5. So instead of having to go 10 yards now, they have to go only 5 to get a 1st and goal.
All right, Frantz. As they bring in Frank Brancaforte right now, and Brancaforte comes in with the play from Jim Horner. Split out wide is Ralph Shivo to the right. And Nusella, the tight end. Look for him as they've gone to just about every receiver they have so far. Here's Shivo as they try to timing play, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, he led Shivo just a bit too much on that play, a couple of yards ahead of him.
So they'll bring it back and huddle it up with 2:52 here in quarter number 1. It's 7-0 Chimeras as they struck early on a 5-yard touchdown run by Donald Crump. Some other key games in the Freedom Division. We saw a good one last week with Florence and Delran. You're looking at Burlington City and Maple Shade. Palmyra and Florence is the big one, and of course Morristown at NBC. And we'll have all those scores throughout this one. Hand off inside, and I'll tell you, the Chimeras must have the playbook of Cherokee when it comes to the run.
Yeah, they were right there to stop that one. One of the linemen, difficult to tell from this vantage point just who it was for Willingboro. David Roberts, I believe, made the tackle there.
No gain on the play. Or a loss of 1 now. They spot it back at the 7-yard line. So a timeout on the field, the Chimeras taking it here with 2:24 to go in quarter number 1. Your score, Chimeras 7, Chiefs nothing. We'll be back with more from Carl Lewis Stadium right after this. Look at the crowd as the Chiefs have a 3rd down and 6 to go. On a missed counter play, and boy, the Chimeras were there as Robinson cannot get it untracked here in quarter number 1.
It looked like it might have been Everett on the tackle there for Willingboro, or David Roberts. I think it was David Roberts in on the stop, and Gene said, you mentioned they must have the playbook. Obviously, I think they did that time.
Ball way back at the 20-yard line. They have to bring it to just about the 6-yard line. So they're looking at a 4th and 14.
Willingboro defense really has to be fired up. Cherokee was in the driver's seat after that penalty, and now they're way back at the 20.
sometimes a timeout can do you wonders. Frantz rolling, trying to escape the rush, throws downfield, has got his man, and let's see, no, it's incomplete. He caught it, but he caught it out of bounds, did number 3, Shivo. So the Chimeras will take over on downs with the football now at their own 20.
I'll tell you, that was some catch and some throw by Frantz. He just did all he could just to get out of the way of the rush, and he was about to get smacked, and he let go of that ball. Boy, he threw a bullet right to Shivo. Unfortunately for Cherokee, it was out of bounds, and Shivo just couldn't stay in, but if he did, that would have been some play. But Frantz showing the ability he's got to get away from that rush and then rocket the ball to his man.
Well, the Chiefs had it for 6 minutes and 5 seconds. You could not put any points on the board. They had 4 first downs, but we're still close. It's 7-0 and it's early. 1:35 to go in quarter number 1. Collins, the Crump, and the Chiefs respond as they attack Donald Crump behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 1.
Yeah, Tony Tortomosa, defensive guard, in on the stop, 5'10", 205 junior. And Gene, we're going to see a defensive battle, I believe, today as Willingboro marched downfield quickly. Thought we might have an offensive show, but from this last couple of series here, I think it's going to be a defensive game.
All right, the Chimeras, decked out in their blue with the red numerals and the white stripes. The pitch. Crump, no running room there. It's number 77 on the play for Cherokee, that being Chris Carmen, the 6', 190-pound defensive end.
What a play by Carmen. He was able to get through the line, and just as Crump was starting to make his move to the outside, Carmen reached up and grabbed him from behind, and Crump didn't know what happened as he expected to go to the outside and all of a sudden saw the green turf.
You know, one thing that Coach Jim Horner said to me in press box, which was prior to our kickoff here, was he was really concerned of the speed, and Willingboro can break it from anywhere on the field at any time, so he's got to be cautious about that. And here's a 3rd and 11 that the Chimeras are looking at, and Collins, I believe, really never got a hold of the ball, and the Chiefs tackling for a loss of 2. So now it's the Chimeras who must punt from deep in their own territory as we're down to single digits here in quarter number 1.
Yeah, they're not going to get another playoff before the end of the quarter as it ticks down to 0. So the first quarter ends, Willingboro 7, Cherokee nothing.
All right, so Carl Lewis Stadium here, a little happy after the first quarter. Your score again, the Chimeras 7, Chiefs nothing. We'll be back with more after these words from our studio in press box. Welcome back here to Carl Lewis Stadium. The look of Borough ball. They are in the lead after quarter number 1, 7-0. Steve, you have the scoring summary for our folks at home.
Yeah, after a poor punt by Cherokee, the Chimeras got on the board first. A 3-play, 19-yard drive capped by a 5-yard run by Donald Crump and a point after by Nate Harris with 7:46 left in the first quarter. So it took them under 5 minutes to score, and we've been scoreless ever since.
All right, 4th down for the Chimeras in 13. Rank of 40 back here at the 45. You see the punt. It's an end over end. They'll make that number 28 for Cherokee. That's Tim Shelton. And Shelton is brought down at his own 48-yard line. So the kick real nice by the Chimeras, getting him out of a hole and driving Shelton back to his own, 49-yard line.
Yeah, Mike Smith, number 77, nose guard, playing special teams, got downfield quickly and really didn't have Shelton didn't have a chance. He had no blockers per se, and Smith was right in on him and leveled him. Actually lost a couple of yards since he caught the ball.
A look at the Cherokee Chiefs side, and boy, the Marltonians have come out in force here tonight. A 41-yard punt by the Chimeras, and here's Frantz going upstairs, and it's incomplete.
Looking for Shivo on a timing pattern, and well covered there by Willingboro, defensive back, and also maybe looking for a little pass interference, but none called, as Corey Sales over there on the right side of the defensive line did a good job for Willingboro, staying right with Shivo but not touching him.
And Bobby Frantz right now 3 out of 7 for a total of 43 yards. As the Chiefs break out, as we get a look at number 14. From the I formation, They try to draw a play to Robinson, and boy, the Chimeras in that defensive line have just been superb here early.
Yeah, Donald Harrison on the stop there, playing center. Excuse me, not center, linebacker for Willingboro, right in on the stop. And Cherokee really can't get their running game going today.
All right, and here comes number 80 in with the play. That, of course, being Chris Waraska, and of course he caught a big pass just moments ago. But to no avail, as the Chiefs couldn't pick up the first down inside the 10. Frantz drops back, has protection, looks over the middle, and it's intercepted by the Chimeras, or incomplete. Looked like he had it from our angle, but he must have dropped it to the turf in number 64 lane.
Yeah, it certainly did look like he had it in his hands, because it must have just bounced off the turf. And he had Chivo down deep, but he probably couldn't get the mustard he needed on the ball to throw it downfield, so he went to his secondary receiver, and now Cherokee will have to punt.
All right, number 40 doing the punting for the Chiefs. That's Kevin Pizarro, the 5'10", 160-pound senior. And they're going to fake the punt here. Pizarro with the football, and the Chiefs do not get the first down as Pizarro is tackled by, I'm not sure if Lane was the man on there or not. Let's see. Number 52 in there for the
Benjamin Outlaw for Willingboro, a defensive end, senior. He was experienced enough to know that a fake is not out of the Cherokee Chiefs playbook, and he got in there, and Pizarro had no chance. Pizarro, a defensive back, so he's got some speed, and Chiefs looked for him to maybe get a first down on it, but Willingboro said no way. Outlaw was in there to make the big play.
All right, and the Chimeras now bring their offense to the Cherokee 47. It's Crump to the 45.
Not very much farther, as Terry Stafford was in there for Cherokee. I tell you, a game like this where the teams are pretty evenly matched talent-wise, it comes down to the team that makes the least amount of mistakes. And Cherokee made a big one there as they attempted the fake punt. And if that had been successful, it would have been a big blow their way, but the unsuccessful attempt gives Willingboro some momentum.
All right, from the I formation, Crump and Terrell Leonard. And it's Crump number 20. Crump comes across the 40, and they're going to spot him down at the 39.5.
Jim Dieter, 6'2", 180, safety in on the stop as he was able to trip up Crump before he got a full head of steam.
Willingboro now looking at a third down at about 3 yards to go. Ball now at the 39, and so far, Willingboro controlling this football game. 9:07 left in the first half. And we've yet to see Donaldson for Willingboro. That's quite a weapon, a secret weapon, let's say. Oh, the Chiefs are right there. Number 20 in on the tackle, that's Jim Dieter. And Dieter, the safety, split through the line to make that tackle up front.
Yeah, Dieter getting his money's worth today coming into this ball game. Just made the last tackle before that, and now this one. So Dieter, although playing in a safety spot, he's been playing up to avoid getting burned by that run, as we saw in the Cinnaminson game. A lot of the Cinnaminson defensive backs were having to make the tackles on the running plays. Cherokee preventing that from happening by having Dieter up close to the line.
So far, they have held Donald Crump to just 20 yards, but yet he has a touchdown. That's the margin of this one, 7-0 in favor of the Chimeras. Here's a pitch to Crump. Crump finds some running room, and it's knocked out of bounds with a photographer at about the 32-yard line, and Crump gets up a little gingerly as he tries to shake that off.
Yeah, he was knocked down hard there by John Moore, the inside linebacker, and really crushed that cameraman and the camera as well. And that may be what bothered Crump a little bit, is he may have landed right on that camera. The cameraman appears to be okay as he's now checking his equipment.
All right, Crump picks up the first down as he picked up 10 yards on the carry, and here we are with the Chiefs on defense needing to stop this as Collins still has it on his hip, and it runs upfield. He's still on his feet and stretches it out to the 12.
I'll tell you, they had a shot at him. Mike Devlin was in on him and had a shot, but Collins was able to escape him and move downfield, and it was a saving tackle by Dieter that prevented the touchdown.
Another first down for the Chimeras.
Great fake by Collins. Everybody had gone to the left, and Collins just kept it on his hip to the right side of the line, and was able to get a first down and bring Willingboro within scoring position.
All right, 7:52 on the clock here in quarter number 2. Your score, Chimeras 7, Cherokee nothing. We have timeout on the field. We'll be back right after these important messages. There's your score here as the second quarter is well underway, 7:52 left in it, and the Chimeras have a lot to cheer about. They are in the lead and on the move. It's 1st and 10 from the 13 of the Chiefs. Hand off Crump inside the 10, and he'll stretch it to about the 9.
Tackle there is made by Mike Devlin for Cherokee. Devlin also having a fine performance on the Cherokee defense.
Let's give him a pick up of 4 for Crump. So the Chimeras looking at a 2nd down and 6 from the 9-yard line. And the Chiefs in a position right now where they really need a defensive stand.
Defense is going to have to come up big, and I think they're going to have Dieter come up and play closer to the line, because I think the ball's going to Crump.
All right, here we are, 7:13 on the clock. And here's the pitch. To who else? Number 20, and Dieter matches numbers, and not Dieter, number 28 in on tackle. Make that Tim Shelton. And Shelton did a fine job getting out there to prevent Crump from turning the corner.
Yeah, he had the angle, and it was Shelton instead of Dieter, although Dieter was right behind him, that made the tackle. That was almost the profit. That was half right.
All right, so Crump loses 2 yards on the carry. Setting up now a 3rd down and 8 from the 11-yard line. From the I formation, split out wide is Donald. Collins looks to throw, has a man, and he is brought down inside the 5-yard line. Let's see where they spot him.
What a play by Kevin Pissarro, defensive back for Cherokee. Just cut under the receiver as he caught the ball and had a shot at the end zone, but Pissarro was there to make a nice leg tackle. And notice he didn't go for the upper body, he went for the legs. And that's a good way to go for an open field tackle.
David Roberts was on the receiving end of that. And we have a timeout on the field with 6:05 left here in the first half. Your score, Chimeras 7, Chiefs nothing. We'll be back after these commercial messages. Welcome back here to Carl Lewis Memorial Stadium. There's your score in quarter number 2. Now, I'll tell you, if someone would have told Jim Horner that in the first half you were going to hold Donald Crump to 10 carries and 32 yards, he'd say, okay, good, my defense is doing the job. We must be tied or must be winning. Well, that's not the case here tonight.
It's 7-0, and Willingboro has a decision to make right here, Gene. It's 4th and 1 from the 4. Now, obviously, I think they're going to go for it. Now, I don't know if he's going for the first down or for pay dirt.
All right, let's see. Collins squats down under center here on this 4th and 1. And it's the first back, and I don't think he got there. The Chiefs have risen to the occasion once again, and that defense has made 2 good stands here in this first half.
I don't think he made it either, Gene. Mike Kaufman, number 67, in there to lead the charge, and the entire Cherokee Chief defensive line, give them all credit, as they did a great job blocking up things and stopping Willingboro on that important 4th and 1.
All right, so the Chiefs, now their turn to take over on downs. As the fake punt didn't hurt them in the sense of score, but hurt them in the sense of field position.
Yeah, that offensive line, Mike Kaufman, Gavin Siegel, Mike Devlin, and John Moore, all in there, contributing to do a great job in stuffing the Willingboro offense.
All right, we have a timeout on the field, but we're going to keep it right here as we are 7-0 in favor of the Chimeras with 5:56 left here on the clock in quarter number 2. And Steve, so far, any surprises that you have seen in this contest?
Well, the main surprise so far has been Cherokee's ability to stop Donald Crump from going wild, and I think the reason they've done that is they're blocking up the running lanes. Against Cinnamon, what we saw Crump able to do is just turn on that burner speed, get the initial haul, and once he has that, he's gone. He just turns on the afterburners and goes. What he's not been able to do tonight is turn on those afterburners. He's getting the initial haul, but as soon as he gets in them, they're closing up on him before he can turn on that breakaway speed.
Another story in this one has been Phil Robinson with 4 carries. And Phil tonight only has 8 yards on those 4 carries. So the rushing stats are not impressive here early in this one, but it might just say something that we've seen 2 pretty good defenses so far. Here's Robinson this time, trying to pull some bodies, and he does to the 10-yard line. Boy, what an effort by Robinson.
Yeah, he just brought along the Willingboro defensive player. It looked like maybe Craig Green.
Or Corey Sales, either one. He picked up 5 yards, did Robinson, so they're looking at a 2nd down and 5 from the 9.
But all those 5 yards, Gene, he had the Willingboro defender hanging on his arm.
Yeah. And they'll break huddle. And out wide here, number 6, Kevin O'Neill. And a handoff inside, and the Chimeras, again, just stuff it at the 10.
Yeah, it looked like Mike Smith in on the tackle, the nose guard. Again, that misdirection play by Cherokee, it got him about 3 yards last time, and all they wanted there was 5. They didn't get anything as Willingboro was right there.
Now they're looking at a 3rd down and 6, and Frantz breaks them out. Bobby Frantz on the night is 3 out of 8 for 43 yards.
An important play for Cherokee here.
And he rolls, and he rolled right into the pressure. Now shakes it away and comes to the sideline, but it's knocked down at the 5-yard line. So the Chimeras defense proves that they are tough here.
Mike Smith again on the final hit is he was batted around a couple of times. Was Frantz as he looked to pass, just ran into his own man, and then from then on it was just all he could do to avoid a big loss.
Number 40, Kevin Pizarro, who had a bad punt down in the end zone in the first quarter, will have his heels probably against the end line here as the ball is spotted at the 5.
Right now, he just looked over to the Cherokee sideline and held up his arms as to say, what do I do now, coach? But obviously, he's gotten that straightened out. He'll stand about 2 yards away from the back line.
All right, back deep here should be Corey Sales. And a flag down, let's see.
I think Willingboro jumped, Gene. I think Willingboro jumped off sides, and if they did, that's a big break for Cherokee because it gives Rosario
some more room,
more room to punt.
And it will be marched off against the Chimeras. A mini 5-yarder. And it'll set up a 4th down and 5.
But more importantly, as we said, more room now for Pizarro to try and get off a good punt. As before he was about 2 yards away from the end line, now he'll only be about 5 yards into the end zone.
Good snap. The kick is up. And it will float to the 35. Sales will take it. And he runs up to about the 24-yard line. So Willingboro in great shape at the Cherokee 26-yard line. 1st and 10.
John Moore made the hit, and that 5 yards, I think, helped Pizarro. That was about a 35-yard kick, maybe a 40-yard kick from where he actually kicked it. Now, picture Pizarro back to the back of the end zone, and that ball only goes out to the 25-yard line. And that makes the 5-yard penalty even bigger.
1st and 10 for Willingboro at the 26 now of Cherokee. And Steve, 3 out of the 4 possessions of Willingboro in this first half have started in Cherokee territory.
And this one deep in Cherokee territory.
Collins still has it. Dipsy Doodles up the middle, still on his feet, and comes all the way to the 9-yard line. What a play by number 5, Mark Collins.
Darren Minder finally made the stop, but Gene, I'll tell you, I thought he was down about 10 seconds before I saw him break out of that pack. I was ready to call out the Cherokee chief number who tackled him, and all of a sudden you see Collins break out of the middle of that pack at the end. And that was just an amazing Dipsy Doodle play through the Cherokee defense.
3:15 on the clock here in quarter number 2. Chimeras inside the 10. And it's first and goal. And Crump fumbles, but jumps right on it.
Smart play by Crump. A lot of players less experienced than Crump will try to pick that ball up, maybe get something out of it. Crump's smart enough to realize that they're still in good shape, but they can't lose the football. Just fell on it and took the loss.
Remember what I said as a key to this ball game might be Nate Harris, the kicker. And I think that says a lot too about Mr. Richards on the Cherokee side, as I think that kicking game is going to come into effect here in this tight one.
Well, Cherokee's hoping that they're going to make Willingboro settle for a field goal attempt down this way.
It's 2nd and 13, or 2nd and goal from the 13, I should say. Collins has a man wide open and hits him at about the 7-yard line, and we'll try to pick off a number there.
Tim Shelton was the one who made the stop, but only because the receiver fell. If he hadn't have fell, I believe it was Steve Everett who got the ball.
Yes.
If he hadn't have fallen, he was probably in for the end zone, because all he had to do is make one move on Shelton, who was getting blocked, and he was in for the score. Shelton got a break, Everett fell, and now Willingboro is going to take a timeout before we go to a 4th down play with 2 minutes even left to go in the first half.
All right, and with just those 2 minutes left, we will be back after these commercial messages. Welcome back here to Carl Lewis Stadium as the Chimeras break huddle on a 3rd down and goal from the 7. With exactly 2 minutes on the clock. Pro set offense. And Collins still has it on a couple of fakes. He turns it up. He does not get into the end zone. It'll be 4th and goal from about the 2.
Yeah, Kevin Pissarro in on the stop, and that time everybody was brought up. Dieter was up close. Jim Dieter, the safety, was up close, and good fake. I had erroneously said that there was a 4th down play coming up. I neglected to count in the penalty, so that made it 3rd. Now it's a 4th and goal from about the 1 or 2, and Cherokee now calls a timeout.
I think everyone has burned their first half timeouts right now. We have 1:37 on the clock. It's 7-0 favor of the Chimeras. And again, you know, next week, our action continues as we shift gears into the Freedom Division. Well, the Scotties of Bordentown at Riverside on our usual Saturday afternoon. And that'll be, of course, a scary day. It's Halloween. And it's a homecoming also for the Rams of Riverside. Both those teams having their troubles here early, but we'll get to look at them in what should be a very tightly matched ball game.
Yeah, we're getting all the homecomings, aren't we? We love those parades. That's why we go to the homecomings. We like to sit here at halftime and watch those floats.
Well, you might watch the floats. I watch the pretty girls.
The homecoming queen. I knew you were going to say that.
1:37 here, and boy, you wonder what kind of shock waves this will do if Willingboro can get into the end zone here and be up by 2.
Tell you, Gene, I guess they're going to go for it, but that's not a pat play. 4th and goal from the 1. A lot of coaches might settle for the field goal and the short 3 points.
I'm sure if we were later in the contest, Ty would have gone for 3. Here's Crump, touchdown, Willingboro. So Mr. Crump is having a big night, at least by the touchdown status, as the fans here at Carl Lewis enjoy that 2-yard plunge.
Yeah, Crump has 2 touchdowns, put it on a total of 5 yards together. So he's not getting the long runs that he got against Cinnamon when we saw him, but he's getting in the end zone, and that's all that counts.
Boy, Willingboro really on offense has not really gained a lot of yards to get those touchdowns. 19 and 26.
They haven't had to. They've gotten great field position. That drive started at the 26 of Cherokee, so all they had to do is march 26 yards, and it took them a while to do it. And it looks like we have a player down hurt for Willingboro.
All right, they're going to check that out, and we'll check out some commercial messages. Stay with us. Your score, Willingboro 13, Chiefs nothing. We'll be back.
One-point conversion.
Number 3, Corey Sales. And there's the snap, the Harris. And he's in for the 2 points. Boy, a little razzle-dazzle there by Ty Belfort. Gets him 2 points as opposed to 1. And the Chimeras go up here 15-0.
Yeah, you said Nate Harris, and that's who got the, you said Corey Sales first, although Nate Harris was the kicker, and I don't know, I think you have a little psychic ability there, Gene, as Corey Sales took the ball and brought it in. I was just going to ask you as we came back if you thought Ty might go for the 2-pointer and try and put the Chiefs down a little bit emotionally, as now they have to score 3 times to get the lead back.
All right, we're going to keep it right here as you get a happy Nate Harris, number 5. And I thought the kicking game would be a key, but I didn't think the kicker would end up running a 2-point conversion in.
Well, you mentioned Nate Harris. He didn't really say the kicking game, so he ended up being a key.
All right. Willingboro has to feel very proud of what they've accomplished in this first half. There's a minute 34 on the clock, and Jim Horner must be growling on the sideline.
That really hurt him. I think that really can break a team emotionally when something like that happens.
Sales with a bomb, and it's in the direction of Mr. Robinson, and he can break it, so they better contain him. Robinson comes out to about the 33-yard line, so Cherokee, who has not had good field position all game long, will start at 1st and 10 from their own 33 with 1:27 to go in first half.
Yeah, Robinson was really only one man. That was Darryl Cooper away from breaking that one for a long gainer. Cooper was able to make the one-on-one tackle and thus keep Cherokee in their own territory with a minute 15 to go in this first half.
All right, they flood it with 4 wide receivers. Shivo, DeAngelo, number 6, O'Neal, and Frantz drops, looks, throws way over the head of his receiver, number 3, and that is Ralph Shivo.
Good coverage by the Willingboro secondary, getting, as you said, flooded with 4 receivers, doing a good job, at least staying close to the men, not letting anybody get a step on them. And that's the key for if you're a defensive back. Just keep the man in front of you. Don't let anybody get a step behind you, because then they're off to the races.
I'll tell you one thing, Steve. There's not a lot of stats here to figure out during our break, so it'll be rather quick as there's not a lot on the sheet. A minute 4 to go. And again, they flood out 4 wide receivers. And Frantz this time pitches to Phil Robinson. Robinson has some running room. He's at the 38. He goes to the 40 and steps out of bounds at about the 42. So give him 9 yards.
And a good play by Robinson to get out of bounds, as he looked like he might have had more room up the middle as he made that initial cut. But I think he realized that if he does that, he might run the remainder of the clock out without getting as far as he had to go, which is the end zone down the other way. So he wisely cut it back to the outside. May have lost about 5 more yards than he would have gotten if he stayed inside, but he stopped that clock, which is much more important at this point.
It's 3rd down and 1, so it's imperative here that they pick up the first down to keep it going.
I tell you, I don't think they have any timeouts left, but if they did, I would go for the end zone here and then just get 1 yard. However, I think they're just going to have to try and throw it to the sideline.
All right, they run it straight up the gut. Riley comes up over midfield into Willingboro territory.
Tackle there made by Willingboro's David Roberts, as the clock will stop temporarily to move the chains.
Another first down for the Chiefs.
49 seconds.
Frantz looking. His throw is there. He has his man Shivo, and he tiptoes out of bounds at the 33 of Willingboro.
What a smart play by Shivo. Shivo could have been thinking touchdown because all he had to do was beat Corey Sales. No easy task, mind you, but when you're a receiver and all you see is one man between you and the goal line, you're thinking TD all the way, but Shivo knew that if he didn't beat Sales, the half was over. So he just got out of bounds before he got hit and gave Cherokee still 40 seconds to get the ball in.
That's the discipline that Jim Horner instructs to his team. And here's another bomb, and it's a line drive right into the hands of Shivo, and they have another first down.
I'll tell you, what Cherokee's doing now is smart. They're taking advantage of Willingboro's prevent defense, the prevent defense being what I talked about before, keeping the receivers in front of you. Cherokee saying, okay, you're going to give us 7 yards. We'll take the 7 yards to get out of bounds.
All right, it's a 2nd down and 1 from the 24 of Willingboro, and Bobby Frantz and the Chiefs are moving this football down like they did last year in the final minute.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Cherokee give the ball up the gut again to the big fullback just to get the first down and stop that clock temporarily.
Frantz looking end zone this time. Has a man, and it's incomplete. Number 6 was out there. That's Kevin O'Neill. But he just couldn't run under the ball.
Then again, 2nd and 1, you can take a shot at the end zone, and then if you have to, you could always get the yard on 3rd to get the first down. 31 seconds remain. I'll tell you, if they could get maybe another 15 yards, they may be in field goal range. And if they can escape the half, scoring some points, that'll be a big boost. They'll take away all of Willingboro's momentum from that last minute-and-a-half touchdown.
All right, it's Frantz. As the split ends here, and they hand it off right up the gut. I think they have the first down. It was Riley, number 35, with the carry.
Yeah, he's a 5'10", 195 fullback junior, so a big guy. And let's see what they do. They gave him the first down. They're not even going to worry about measuring it with 27 seconds to go. And the clock will restart when the chains are placed down.
The ball is at the 23. Frantz looking sideline, has his man, and Shibo again steps out of bounds at about the 20.
At about the 20, so a gain of, what, 3 or 4 yards with 21 seconds. And maybe they'll take another couple shots at the end zone or try and get a little bit closer, and then they'll bring out their field goal kicker.
You know, Mr. Frantz has thrown the ball 13 times in this first half.
And the yardage isn't going to be... Well, whether he tripped or was interfered with is very hard to tell from our angle. We're all the way across the other side of the field. The officials are right there. They called the interference. That's what everybody was looking for. And now that stops the clock, gives Cherokee a gain, and that's going to be a big help, as I believe it's from the line of scrimmage. They'll mark off 15 yards.
Yep. All right, so they'll move it up now to the 10-yard line.
Well, they'll give them 10 yards on the penalty, and it'll be an automatic first down. So it's first and goal from the, first and goal from the 10.
All right, with 17 seconds to go in this first half. They have enough time for 2 plays. Here it is, number 80. And number 80, D'Angelo cannot, or make that, Waraska cannot run underneath it.
I'll tell you, you know what I think Cherokee tried to do? I think everybody was keying on Shivo. I think they tried to just go the other way to Waraska and see if he was open. And I think Frantz might have thrown that one away because Waraska was covered. They figured he might as well throw it away.
That play only took 4 seconds. We're down to 13. So it's quite conceivable they could get 2 more plays from right here. Quick pass to Shivo, and he is dumped.
Tell you, Corey Sales just laid a hit on him to try and make up for that interference call that Shivo drew. And he just leveled him with a body block. But Shivo will take that as he kind of got the ball rifled at him by Frantz. 10 seconds left. An interesting decision now for Jim Horner. Third down. And let's see if they try once more and then bring out the field goal unit. I would do it. He's got plenty of time. As long as he can stop the clock. Either this play's got to be a touchdown or an incomplete pass.
All right, number 80, Waraska split out wide to the left. And Frantz going to the right, and Frantz is going to be hauled down at about the 18-yard line as the Chimeras defense, for the 3rd time in this first half, have come alive and stopped the Chiefs as they run off the field at halftime as we're down to 000. Your score at halftime, the Chimeras 15, the Chiefs nothing. Let's go back to our studios for another press box update. Welcome back here to Carl Lewis Stadium. There's your halftime score. The Chimeras 15, the Chiefs nothing. A little bit surprised, Steve, at how wide the margin is at 15 points here in the first half, but not really surprised Willingboro in the lead at halftime.
No, not really. And the thing you have to remember about that 15-0 lead, it looks large, but Cherokee had the ball first and goal from the 10. and they couldn't get any points on the board. As on a third down play, Frantz went back and was sacked, and that ran the timeout with 10 seconds the play started. So Cherokee very close to getting some points towards the end there, and Willingboro did score with a minute and a half left in the first half. So most of the first half we were at 7-0 Willingboro, and that would be more expected. Willingboro now on top 15-0. It took a lot of steam out of Cherokee sails, scoring with a minute and a half left.
All right, you have the scoring summary sheet there. Why don't you read that off to our folks at home?
Well, the Chimera started things off in the first quarter, a 3-play drive, just 19 yards after a bad punt by Cherokee. Ended up with a 5-yard touchdown run by Donald Crump. Harris's point after was good. It was 7-0 with 7:46 left in the first quarter. That one early, and then we waited all the way until a minute and a half, 1:34 exactly remained in the first half, until Donald Crump ran it in from 2 yards out, capping off a 26-yard drive for Willingboro. And the 2-point conversion by Nate Harris on the fake kick, as Corey Sales was lined up as the kicker, and Nate Harris had it on the ground. He ran it in. It was 15-0. 1:34 was remaining in the half, and that's the way it stands now, 15-0. And Cherokee, as I mentioned, blew a good scoring opportunity as they marched pretty well. They marched down the field about 70 yards in that last minute and a half, but couldn't get anything on the board.
All right, let's take a look at the rushing and passing and everything else stats from the first half. Rushing, there it is. The Chiefs had 41 yards. Rushing, Robinson had 6 carries for 22 yards. Mike Riley had 5 carries for 12 yards. And Frank Brancaforte had 2 carries for 7 yards. There's your total of 41. And for Willingboro, they had 66. Donald Crump had 12 carries for a total of 32 yards and 2 touchdowns on those 32 yards. So the yardage that Donald got was very productive in the sense of 2 touchdowns. Mr. Collins had 5 carries in that first half, and he had 34 yards. So Mr. Collins is your leading rusher right now in this ball game. Terrell Leonard had 1 carry but didn't pick up a yard on it. The passing yardage, Bobby Frantz threw the ball up an awful lot in that first half, mainly because they couldn't get that running game going, as he completed 6 out of 15 for a total of 61 yards. Pretty impressive first half by the junior quarterback. Mark Collins was 2 out of 2 for a total of 11 yards. So the passing game has become pretty important in this one. First downs, Cherokee had 8, Willingboro had 4. Your penalty yardage, Cherokee had 1 penalty for a total of 10 yards. Willingboro had 3 penalties for a total of 20 yards, and it was blemish-free in the first half.
Yeah, a couple of those stats are a little bit misleading. Most of France's passing yardage, although it came either on that last drive with a minute and a half to go, or in that long pass to Wassard that it went for about 40 yards right there, 30 or 40 yards. Also first downs. That is a very good statistic, because that just shows you the field position advantage Willingboro has had, as they've scored twice and they only acquired 4 first downs in that first half, whereas Cherokee didn't get on the board and they had to get 8. So that just shows you the drastic difference in field position that we had in the first half. And
to elaborate on that a little more, Cherokee had 5 possessions in that first half, originating from their own 28, their own 18, their own 49, their own 4, and their own 33, while the Chimeras have started drives from the Cherokee 19, from their own 20, from Cherokee's 47, and from Cherokee's 26. So they have lived the first half in the real estate of the Chiefs.
And it's hard to win a ball game when the other team has the ball on your side of the field and you haven't gotten it on their side of the field at all. Cherokee has yet to start on Willingboro's side of the field. That means you have to march at least 50 yards every time you got the ball, and that's not an easy task to do against a defense like Willingboro's.
We are looking at the Willingboro Chimera Marching Band. Steve, let me tell you something. They take a lot of pride in the way this band looks and how it performs.
And it's one of the better ones in South Jersey, as you can hear, as some of the sound filtering through, and the floats are starting to come around. Maybe we'll get a chance to look at them, and we'll be able to play parade hosts for a little while.
All right, we're going to take a short time out here as we're at halftime. in homecoming, 1987 for the Chimeras. Your score again, the Chimeras 15, the Chiefs nothing, but we still have a whole half to go. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back here to Carl Lewis Stadium, here at halftime and homecoming, 1987. And Steve, it looks like from what we've seen in the float parade here, looks like they put some time into these things.
Oh, they always do, you know, and you remember back when you went to high school, I guess G&E class put a lot of time. You always want to win that float competition, and especially your last year. And I know when I went to school, it always seemed like no matter what the floats looked like, the seniors always won it. So I remember our year, we really didn't put as much time as we wanted to on it, and figuring we were going to win anyway. So we could have put a table out there, and we probably would have won.
You know, as we get a look at the court, homecoming queens and all coming down the track here at Carl Lewis Stadium, along with the floats. Homecoming, of course, a very festive affair. As they let go some balloons here on the track at Carl Lewis Stadium. Of course, in blue and red, the colors of the Chimeras.
Yeah, it looks like a Snow White theme for this particular float. I still feel like Jim Gardner on Thanksgiving Day looking at all the floats here.
I'll tell you, you look across the way and there's a huge crowd on the Cherokee side, and the stands here in Willingboro are packed. I've seen them packed a little tighter than this during some playoff games, but still a very, very nice turnout as we see the 1990 float sail with the sophomores. The sophomores of Willingboro here, 1987.
And it looks like they've got a boat, a sailboat, for their float.
Again, probably this sailboat started out in someone's garage in Willingboro.
Feel sorry for those guys who have to carry that thing all the way around the track. A lot of times they'll have little trucks or cars to put them on. But not the case here, as these guys are going to have sore arms all next week. Maybe it'll get them out of class if they can say they have a sore arm and they can't write.
See the crossbone there, the skull and crossbone. Of course, maybe that's to strike some fear in the Cherokee hearts along the sideline, as they have been snake bitten and poisoned here by the Willingboro defense in this first half, shutting them down on offense and keeping them off the scoreboard.
Another big key to some of these float sheets is the noise created by the people on the float. You have your people marching, just accompanying the float, and the more noise they make, the more impression it makes on the judges. I think we have some music to go along with this one.
We are here at halftime at Carl Lewis Stadium between the Fall Classic, and you know, they talk about baseball having its Fall Classic in the World Series. This has become the Fall Classic of Burlington County, Cherokee and Willingboro. And
couldn't be a better game to pick for your homecoming for Willingboro. As I said before, a lot of teams pick a team that's probably a pushover on their schedule so they can assure their returning alumni that they're going to get a victory. But Willingboro had something in mind when they picked Cherokee, because they knew that Cherokee was going to be rated #1 in South Jersey, and they still are coming into this ball game. And I tell you, they didn't pick a patsy for their homecoming game.
No, they did not. You know, Ty Belford's that type of a coach because he's such an emotionally driven coach and believes so much in momentum and thrust and go out there and get them boys and rock and sock them. And his teams really display that once they hit onto the field, as they are explosive and they always feel that they're in a football game.
I'll tell you, you know, Ty Belford might be just the kind of coach who will use a homecoming game to inspire his team. Now, a lot of times, like I say, you get the patsies, but when it's a good game, Ty Belford can say to his players, hey, look, this is homecoming. You have all these people who went to Willingboro High. They're going to be coming back, and they want to see you guys win a ball game. And that can fire up a team just as much, because a lot of the seniors especially figure, hey, this has got to be the second or third to last ball game we're ever going to play at Willingboro High. Let's win this one, a big game against a team like Cherokee. And that could be what Ty Balfour had in mind when he wanted Cherokee as his homecoming opponent.
All right, Cinderella. And I can only assume this is the junior class of 1989.
You are correct, as there a big 89 appears on that pumpkin carriage, and apparently we have a fairy tale theme for this homecoming parade this evening.
And again, for all you folks that are watching here on Saturday night, as I just got a little ticker that went off in my own mind about the clocks fall back this weekend. So if you're watching this on Saturday night, drop your clock back an hour, or else you're going to be late on Sunday.
It's a good thing you reminded me. I had forgotten all about it. I would have woke up Sunday morning and been late.
All right, and as the parade of Homecoming 87 takes its stroll around the track.
Here's the class of 88, the seniors, and
yeah, they're into it.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. There's the float. I was wondering where the float was. I see the sign presenters, and I thought they had no float. They were going to try and pull the same thing I did my senior year and win it without a float. But here it comes, the cards. I guess the Alice in Wonderland float.
And, you know, the one thing you have to keep in mind, all these costumes are hand done, you know?
Yep.
A lot of work.
A lot of mothers sewing in the past couple of months for these costumes.
And if they're anything like our floats, they were done the last couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah, you get most of it done the night before. Last night, I'm sure there were a lot of kids who woke up this morning and didn't feel like going to school because they didn't get a lot of sleep. They were in somebody's garage, as you said, finishing up these floats.
They look beautiful. Very
Very elaborate, this one. This one, I think the seniors are going to come away with a victory here. The most elaborate float by far.
And of course, the folks over there in Cherokee are saying, hey, come on, let's get these teams back onto the field.
We want to watch our Chiefs try and come back in this one.
That's right. They'll have their time.
Then again, Cherokee will have their homecoming of their own. And they'll get their chance to see their friends and classmates parade around.
As the seniors continue to walk by the press box and the judges here at Carl Lewis Stadium.
Also the largest float we've seen. This one extending a good 60 yards.
The seniors have gone all out and want to take home the big prize this year. As the band waits patiently as we see the final trail, I would imagine that a good portion of the senior class is out there decked in cards and all.
Yeah, there are a lot of people out there. I don't know if there's anybody in the stands who's going to graduate in June.
They have gotten behind Homecoming 87. And well, they should.
And still more cards coming down. I thought it ended back there, and I bet you they have every card in the deck, or they could. They have all hearts.
Well, right now, they are dealing the cards against the Chiefs. They lead 15-0 here at halftime. We'll be back with second half action right after this. The captains are back out at the 50-yard line, getting reacquainted. It's number 64, Todd Lane, number 20, Donald Crump for Willingboro, and it's number 32, Brett Reisner, out there for Cherokee. And Steve, any closing comments?
Well, an interesting stat passed around the press box right before we came back, as Willingboro will get the ball first here. Number of plays from scrimmage run. Cherokee had 36, Willingboro 21. And again, just like the first down stat, that's indicative of the field position, excuse me.
It's been all Willingboro here in the first half in the sense of field position. So let's see what the second half brings about here. And I am sure we are going to see a different half here from Cherokee, as they just could not run the football at all in that first half.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what Jim Horner does. Is he going to say, okay, we can't run, let's throw the ball, or is he going to say, let's try and get that running game going? It could go either way, and of course, your running game can set up the passing game very easily.
You know, one thing about Horner, things seem to go his way, usually in second halves. And I'm sure Ty Balfour's aware that his Cherokee team has fought from deficits like this before and come back and pulled games away. So Ty Balfour is saying to his boys, continue to do what you did in the first half because you played almost picture-perfect football.
I'll tell you, one thing that goes in Horner's way went last year. If you remember from last year's game, we talked about it on the Press Box pregame show. A controversial illegal man downfield call against Willingboro resulted in a Chimera field goal instead of a touchdown. And Cherokee got a break there as they ended up winning the game 7-3. So, as you mentioned, the breaks go Jim Horner's way in the second half.
All right, let's see how this one unfolds before us. 24 minutes of what'll be helmet-smacking football here from Carl Lewis Stadium. And back deep it sails, number 3. And teeing it up for the first time here tonight is number 64.
Mike Devlin, also the kicker. He's a big guy. He's a 6'3", 260. That's a pretty big guy to be putting a foot into the football.
Mike is a darn good player. We've seen him now for 3 years perform. Number 64, Devlin, approaches it, kicks a line drive. And I believe it's number 22 with it. And he'll come up over the 30 to the 34-yard line.
Nice tackle by Rick Ellsworth, 5'7", 140-pound linebacker, a senior. He made the stop right at about the 33-yard line.
So Willingboro now will take the first possession of the second half. And let's see what they can do with it here. David Roberts split out wide. And now they send the man in motion as they're showing the Chiefs a little variation of their offense. And it's Crump for about 3.
He's brought down by Mark Bergstrom, a defensive back, senior, 5'9", 145.
Here's a man that will be selected by some lucky college here this year. Donald Crump, highly recruited.
A lot of local colleges after him, names such as UCLA, Penn State also, National Powers, local area. He's going to get a lot of letters.
It's second down and 6 from the 37-yard line. And Collins finds Crump, and Crump gets free. And Crump comes across midfield to the 47-yard line of Cherokee.
Finally tackled down by Chris Carmen, defensive end, who finally caught up with him. And there's that, what we were talking about, Gene, that Crump wasn't able to do in the first half. He was able to there get a hole big enough to start turning on those afterburners, and that time he did. 16-yard gain for Crump.
So Crump gets it unwound here in the early stages of quarter 3. Split out wide to the right. And it's Crump again, and look at the hole there. Donald Crump finds the outside and gets down that sideline and finally gets it out of bounds by the safety number 20. That is Jim Dieter.
Again, Crump able to turn on the afterburners, got to the outside and ran all the way down the sideline, and he's looking like he did against Minson in those first 2 plays. And if he continues to do that, he's going to get about 5 touchdowns before this one's over.
That was about a 19-yard run right there, make it 20. And it's another first down. And what is happening is they're doing a little more trap blocking right here, and they're springing Crump free.
As you mentioned, they're changing their offensive formation a little bit, and I think it's confusing Cherokee and allowing Willingboro's offensive line to get some better blocks.
And now it's Collins as he keeps it. He's down to the 20, the 15. He turns it up to the 10-yard line. Fine run by number 5, Mark Collins.
And again, Jim Dieter left alone to make the tackle for Cherokee as he's been all day. And that was a very good call by Ty Belford. Everybody keying on Crump on the Cherokee defense. Collins with a nice fake, just kept it, came around the left side, had plenty of green, and ran it all the way down to the 10-yard line. It would be first and goal for Willingboro with 10 minutes left in this third quarter. So they've only played 2 minutes, and Willingboro is knocking at the door again.
They have moved it some 60 yards in this drive. 8:50 on the clock on a 1st and 10. And the pitch is deep to Crump. Crump looking for some help, but Cherokee this time responds and drops him for a loss.
That play made by Brett Reisner, as we talked about in the opening, the outside linebacker, a senior, 5'9", 190. Reisner was able to get behind the line of scrimmage and knock Crump off balance, and then his teammates were able to come to his aid. Crump lost about 5 yards on that play, and that's a big play. That's what Cherokee was doing early in the first half. Actually, he only lost 1 as he was able to scramble back near the line of scrimmage.
All right, so you're looking at 2nd and 11 from the 11-yard line. No first down as the sticks are laid down on the ground. Second man, Crump up to the 10, and now Cherokee starting to dig in a little bit.
And again, Reisner able to get back inside the Willingboro backfield and trip up Crump. And that's been the key to the past 2 plays as
the Cherokee defense again starting to dig in, and they've done this a couple times in the first half.
They can stop him here. I don't think Willingboro will go for it. It's 3rd and goal from the 12.
And they split it out wide. Donaldson closest to. Collins looks that way, has a man, and it is incomplete. Good defense there by the Cherokee Chiefs.
I'll tell you, what a great play by the defensive back. Have to catch who it is. I believe it's going to be Dieter.
Number 20.
Yep, Jim Dieter.
Jim Dieter.
Actually, I believe it wasn't Dieter. I believe it was Tim Shelton. We've been getting those two confused, 20 and 28. It's a little hard to tell from our vantage point. But Tim Shelton with a great defensive play to just get in the way of that ball and almost pick it off.
All right, Nate Harris, number 5. No, it's Corey Sales, number 3 from the 20-yard line, is attempting a 30-yard field goal. And the kick is up and is partially blocked and no good. So with 8:24 on the clock here in quarter number 3, your score remains Willingboro 15, Cherokee nothing. We'll be back right after this.
Last 3 numbers, your 50-50, 2, 5.
On the carries, we're coming back here. It's what, Francoforte? No, it's Riley with the carry, and Riley picks up maybe 4 yards.
Yeah, tackle made by Willie Washington there as the aborted field goal attempt by Nate Harris was no good, and a good defensive stand by Cherokee as Willingboro had a 1st and goal from the 10, and Cherokee holds on, and that should give their offense some momentum to try and go down and score. It'll be 2nd and 5 from the 25.
All right, and they are in their standard eye. And it's the second back, Robinson. Robinson pounds through and picks up 2.
And we mentioned it would be interesting to see, as Donald Harrison was in on the stop for Willingboro, whether Cherokee was going to come out throwing or running. And so far, they've been running the ball, trying to establish that running game, give a gain of about 2, make it 3rd and 3.
And again, Willingboro chewed up some valuable time on the clock, about 4 minutes in that drive that was aborted.
7:15 left in the 3rd quarter.
From the eye again. The Chiefs set down. Straight up the gut, and I don't think he's got the first down. It'll be close, though.
I think it's going to be about a yard shy. You have to wait to see Tilly and Pyle. It's going to be Mike Smith in on the tackle.
And it was Riley, the ball carrier.
See where the officials will mark it.
It looks like about a 4th and a foot.
Oh.
And Horner, I know, will go for it.
Tell you, he got a little bit farther than I thought he did. They call it a yard, but as you said, Gene, it's about a foot.
6.5 left here, third quarter. 15-0 Chimeras. Hope you're enjoying this one from Carl Lewis Stadium. And they've got their foot to the Chiefs. It's first down, and they keep the football and keep it going here.
Yeah, Mike Riley was the first back through. He just kind of dove on the ground and got the yard necessary. Actually, he got about 2 yards, about 2 yards on the carry.
All right, so the Chiefs now with the football nosed at the 32-yard line.
I'll tell you, I don't think the Chiefs mind eating up a lot of time if they can get the ball in the end zone, because they'll have the whole fourth quarter, and with the arm of Frantz, they can come back in a hurry.
You saw how he ran that 2-minute drill at the end of the first half, and we saw that last year, and he pulled out a game. Here it is, over the middle. Oh, and Shivo had nothing in front of him but goal, and he just couldn't catch the football and take it home.
I'll tell you, he had Corey Sales beaten, and by about 3 steps, and he just couldn't catch that football. Beautifully thrown by Frantz, and Shivo, by all rights, should have been in the end zone by now. And I think he might have started running towards it before he caught the ball, which is a frequent mistake. Even in the NFL, you'll see guys start to turn around and head the other way before they actually get their hands completely on the ball.
I've always said the worst thing you could do is hit a wide receiver smack dab in the hands. And there's 5:55 left, and Frantz is going to throw it up again. This time he's got a man, and it's incomplete. Number 80 out there for Cherokee. That is Chris Waraska, and it goes incomplete. So Frantz 0 for 2 in this series, and Cherokee looking at 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, it looked like Dan Smith back there to cover the pass. Covered it pretty nicely, almost got a piece of it. As we said, Cherokees can get you in a hurry, and twice they almost did. Now it's a 3rd and 10, so Jim Horner quickly aborting the running game and going for the long passing game.
All right, he sends out Shivo wide to Francis left. And as Waraska to the right. And a handoff to Robinson. Robinson still on his feet and has sprung out of bounds at the 40-yard line. So the Chiefs now are faced with a 4th down and about 2. And I don't think Warner will take a shot with that.
Willie Washington knocked Robinson out of bounds finally. It looked like Robinson had a big hole. I was going to question Horner's play calling this series. On 1st and 10, I could see going long. But on 2nd and 10, you've been having success with the running game, and you're still in your own territory. You should have started running it again there, because 3rd and 10 is a long way to get on one run. They are going to go for it on 4th and 2.
Horner pulling out the stops here.
He really doesn't have much choice, actually.
And the handoff to Robinson, and the Chimeras defense stands tall and snuffs it out at the 40-yard line. So they will take over on downs, and guess what? The Chimeras will start another drive in Chief territory.
Yeah, that's what I mean by being able to take that chance, first of all, when you're ahead and when you're in the other team's territory. But 3rd and 10, I think you got to put the ball up in the air and then put it away. 4th and 2 is tough to get, especially when you're facing a Willingboro team and you're in your own end of the field.
All right, the Chimeras from the 40 will take it. 1st and 10, pro set, backfield. Crump with it. Crump is buried at the 41.
Nothing doing for Crump that time. We're having a little video difficulties. We'll try and straighten them out. On the tackle for Cherokee was Larry Killian. Killian, a 6 foot 180 defensive end, a junior. So he'll be back next year for Jim Horner.
4-5-4 to go here in quarter number 3. The Chimeras in control with this one. Right now, it's 15-0. They have the ball. And the pitch to Crump. And Crump turns it inside. He's got one man to beat, and he may go. He is gone. Touchdown. The Chimeras, with that explosive speed, takes it all the way for the touchdown.
Donald Crump just turned on the Jets as soon as he got to the sideline, and a whole bunch of Chiefs tried to catch him, including Mark Bergstrom, the defensive back, but couldn't do it. Donald Crump just showed you the kind of speed he's got. That's touchdown number 3, and he really's put it on a show here for the fans at home.
All right, let's see. They'll go for the extra point. A single by Corey Sales, number 3. The kick is up, and the kick is no good as it's wide to the right. So at 4:32 left here in quarter number 3, your score, the Chimeras 21, the Chiefs nothing. We will return after these commercial messages.
We really haven't seen him do what he can all night, and that time he made it all the way up to the 43-yard line before he was knocked down by Sales.
All right, the Chiefs, and we know what kind of character they have. We'll have to turn things on here. Here it is, up the middle. Shivo is there. He may go all the way, and this one will be brought to within 15 points again.
What a play.
57-yard touchdown pass from Bobby Frantz to Ralph Shivo. And look at Frantz say, come on, guys, bring it on up here. We're going for 2.
I'll tell you, that's the play that almost connected for that other touchdown. I think they took the Chimeras by surprise. I think Willingboro is still celebrating that last run by Crump. And the run back surprised him, and that long pass, a very good play by Jim Horner on the first play from scrimmage after that Willingboro touchdown, brings it even to 15, and we got a ball game again.
All right, let's see what Jim Horner does here. It is 21-6 right now in favor of the Chimeras.
4 minutes even left to go in the third quarter. Plenty of time for the Chiefs.
So we have had 2 scores within 32 seconds.
Sounds like a Flyers game, doesn't it?
And Richards for the single extra point. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 4 minutes exactly on the clock here in quarter number 3, your score, Chimeras 21, the Chiefs 7. Hold on, baby, don't go away. This one's just heating up. Well, the scores are happening in a flurry here. Steve, you have 2 scoring summaries to give to our folks at home.
Yeah, real quickly, Willingboro first 40-yard scoring drive, 42-yard scoring drive, make that 42-yard touchdown by Donald Crump. Point after was no good, 21-0 with 4:32 left. Then Cherokee on one play, a 57-yard touchdown pass from Frantz to Shivo. The point after was good by Richards, 21-7 with 4 even to go in the third quarter.
All right, so we're going to tee it up and try to do this over again. Number 64, Devlin, kicks a shot right off of Chimera Upman, picked up by number 22, and he is brought down at the 31-yard line. So the Chiefs now will put their defense back on the field. The Chimeras now need to reassume control of this one.
Mike Riley in on the stop, and a good play by the special teams for Cherokee. They just wanted to get that ball line drive, avoid a long return, and maybe even cause a turnover, having one of the upmen forced to touch it, which happened. But fortunately for Willingboro, the man was there to take it back, and Douglas Newman, in on the carry, was able to take it back and get decent field position for Willingboro.
We have 3.5 minutes to go here in quarter number 3. And it's Crump, and Crump is tripped up at about the 32-yard line.
I'll tell you, Gene, you want to notice the difference in the halves, just looking at the starting spots for Willingboro quickly. This half, 33, the Cherokee 40, and their own 32 this time. So 2 out of the 3 times so far, Cherokee has gotten them to start in their own end of the territory, and Cherokee, on the other hand, has started at their 43 and their 20, so still better than they did in the first half. And when they started at the 43, all they needed was one quick play to Shivo, and that, we talked about the breakaway ability by Cherokee. There it was right there.
All right, 2 minutes, 50 seconds to go in quarter number 3. It is 21-7 in favor of the Chimeras. Collins has a man across the middle, and it's good enough for first down yardage.
Tackle made by Kevin Pissarro. Good play by Pissarro to stay in his position. I think a lot of people were faked out as Collins faked up the middle and then hit his man on the crossing pattern, which is very hard to defend. But Pissarro made a nice job, just stayed in his spot and made the tackle.
So Willingboro with a 1st and 10 from their own 42. The Chiefs look a little confused with the different formations that Ty Belford has implemented here in the second half. Here's Crump. Crump getting much more room this half than the first half. And he goes up to midfield.
Mike Riley, Jim Diter in on the stop for Cherokee, along with number 32, Brett Reisner. Reisner not a big a factor as we thought he would be starting the game. Again, he is coming off a bruised thigh injury, so that may be hampering him a little bit. But we expected him to be a big force in this game, and I give credit the Willingboro offense for keeping him out of things.
All right, we're looking at a 2nd down and 3. As the football spotted at the 49 of Willingboro. Collins pitches. Crump may have the 1st down. We'll have to see where they spot it.
It's going to be close, and again, Reisner in on the stop, and as soon as we say he hasn't been that big a factor, he makes 2 big plays right in a row. And they're going to bring out the chains, I believe, for this one.
Donald Crump has really picked things up here in the second half. Of course, with that 42-yard touchdown run, that's going to help your average just a little bit.
Sure is, and now it's just a classic Crump run. And talk about how heavily recruited he is. He's going to be a great find for somebody in Division I football. And they're still trying to mark it off as you see the officials coming out.
Looks like it's short by inches.
Oh, they're giving them, yep. They need about an inch, if that.
All right, so here we are. 3rd down now in inches.
I'll tell you, Gene.
Resting at the 48-yard line.
I would go for the end zone in one shot, try and put this game away. If you don't get it, you got 4th down. All you have to get is an inch, and that's very easy to do, as we talked about before. I would take a shot at the end zone. If it's not there, throw the ball away.
All right, here it is on the 3rd down in inches. And Mark Collins wants to say, let's get the 1st down and move the chains, and he does.
Tackle in there by Mike Kaufman. And again, I guess that's why I'm not a high school football coach.
All right, so the Chimeras continue their drive. With 1:09 to go here in quarter number 3. Their lead has been trimmed by just 1 point here in this 3rd quarter. It's 21-7.
And again, when you're up by 14 points, you're really looking more to chew off some time off the clock than for the points on the board. Under a minute to go.
Pro set. We haven't heard a lot tonight from Terrell Leonard. Here's Collins stumbling. And that's probably the easiest tackle number 40 will make. That's Kevin Pizarro. All he had to do is just put a hand on number 5, Mark Collins.
Yeah, Pizarro was going to tell his friends tomorrow that Collins was afraid of him and he decided to fall instead of get hit, but he just lost his footing. Pizarro had nice position, though. Probably would have stopped him as he had the angle, because Collins was trying to get around to the outside, but Pizarro was in good position. As 15 seconds remain, we may not see another play before the end of the 3rd quarter.
Let's see if Collins decides to run one quickly here. As we're down to 3 seconds, and now a flag. We might have a delay. And that's what it is, delay of game against the Chimeras. So we will have one more play to go here in this 3rd quarter with 3 seconds on the clock. And the Chimeras now look at a 2nd down and about 16.
Yeah, that's not Collins' fault. It's very difficult here to gauge how much time you have before the 30-second clock goes off, as there isn't one on the field as there is in the pros and in college. So the time has to be kept by somebody on the sidelines, usually the assistant coach, and a 3-second difference is very hard to gauge. So they probably thought they had enough time to run it out.
All right, here we are, final play, quarter number 3. Collins throws it up, has a man out there, and it's complete, and he is spun down at the 44-yard line of Cherokee, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter here from Carl Lewis Stadium in Willingboro, New Jersey. Your score at the end of 3 is the Chimeras 21, the Chiefs 7. We'll be back with the 4th quarter after we come back from our studios in another Press Box update. 12 minutes to go. Homecoming, 1987 for the Chimeras. And that team right there is trying to spoil the party. They're the Cherokee Chiefs. They trail in this one 21-7. But the Chimeras have a big third down at about 8.
Big play for the Cherokee defense. Try and stop the Chimeras and try and get the ball back. As we begin the fourth quarter play, Cherokee is going to have to get the ball back here and strike quickly, because they got to score twice at least.
Here's the call on 3rd and long. It's a reverse. And number 23 with it. He has the first down, and the Chimeras have pulled every rabbit out of the hat here in this one, and they come up with a big first down.
Douglas Newman on the reverse, and I'll tell you, Cherokee didn't defend that too badly, because Pasner was over on that side. Pissarro was over on that right side in his position, but Newman just put a move on him, and Pissarro went to the turf, and Newman able to get that first down. But there was a man there for Cherokee. He just couldn't make the tackle.
All right, the Chimeras keep the ball, and they have the lead by 14. The pitch. It's Crump, and he comes up across the 20-yard line. Boy, are they getting deep in Chief territory now.
He was tripped up by our pal Jim Diter. And as you mentioned, you know, we talked about Cherokee being able to strike quickly. Willingboro in just 38 seconds here has moved the ball about 30 yards.
Two very explosive teams.
One on the ground and one in the air.
All right, they're going to measure this to see if he has the first down. And the Willingboro bench right now is static because their team is playing very well and have come up with the big plays when they've had to tonight. They're short by just inches. So it'll be second down and about the nose of a football. You have to like the game plan Ty Balford has put into play here tonight.
Well, when you have a runner like Donald Crump, it's a pretty easy formula to come up with. Just give him the ball and watch him go.
All right, so on a second down and inches, let's see if Collins keeps it. Or if he hands off, he goes to Crump. Crump has the first down, still on his feet, still moving him like a locomotive, and brings it to the 11-yard line.
Jim Diter again on a stop. You know what's so great about Crump that the NFL, that college and NFL scouts are going to love? Not only is he quick, but he's strong, as you saw on that play. He just kept his legs churning, and he brought about 5 Cherokee defenders with him before he finally went down. That's what scouts love to see, a guy who keeps those legs moving, because as long as you keep those legs moving, it's going to be tough to bring you down.
All right, we have a timeout on the field with 10:57 to go in quarter number 4. The score, Chimeras 21, the Chiefs 7. We'll be right back. Welcome back here to Carl Lewis Stadium. There's your score. We're in the quarter number 4 with 10:57 to go in this one in a big Liberty Division football game here from Carl Lewis Stadium. 1st and 10 from about the 12-yard line. And here's the pitch. And the Chimeras are in for the touchdown. It's 21, Terrell Leonard on a great run from 12 yards out. And my, look at what we have here tonight.
I'll tell you, Leonard looking a bit like his buddy Crump there, just driving and driving and driving, and finally stretching the ball over the end zone. And a great play to get it in from the 11-yard line. And that's going to put Willingboro up big, as it's 27-7, awaiting the point after.
All right, let's see if they fake this one this time or if they really kick this one through the uprights.
There's no need to fake it. I think they're just going to try and kick it away. As a 21-point lead should be plenty with only 10:49 left, although Cherokee can score in a hurry. With that Frantz to Shivo connection, or we really haven't seen Jim Seferati either, the other wide receiver.
Well, Seferati, part of that injury story here this year for the Chiefs, played with a broken wrist last week. And there's a timeout on the field right now as Willingboro goes to line up.
Probably just trying to get straight what they want to do.
Boy, was that a great run by Leonard. And what is, you look at the Chiefs sideline, and you know that sideline for so many years I've witnessed them to be jumping up and down and very happy, but that is a very downtrodden sideline right now.
Certainly is. I don't think there's going to be any parties down in Cherokee country tonight.
The football wrestling now, they're going for two. As Collins will try the two-point conversion. He's going to keep it. Let's see if he can find pay dirt, and it's not there as Cherokee snuffs it out at the 3-yard line. So the two-point conversion is no good. So your score with 10:49 to go in this one, it's the Chimeras 27, the Chiefs 7. And we'll be back with more fourth quarter action right after this. Welcome back here to Carl Lewis Stadium. There's your score. And Steve, you have the scoring summary for our folks at home.
68-yard drive capped off by an 11-yard touchdown by Terrell Leonard as we remarked an excellent run. The two-point try by Collins is no good. 10:49 to go in the ball game, 27-7 Willingboro.
Chimeras really put some length between these two teams here in this fourth quarter, and we have flags all over, which says to me Willingboro offside.
Going to push him back another 5 yards. They didn't even let any contact be made. Good job by the officials tonight. No real bad calls, no controversial calls, and I'm glad, and I'm sure Ty Belford and Jim Horner are glad of that after last year's game.
Yeah, last year there were some questions, but not about the ability of the Cherokee squad and the way they can play at home, because they are tough anywhere they go. Again, Willingboro is the only team in this decade that has beaten the Chiefs. That's quite a feat.
That is an amazing statistic.
As you're looking at some of the happy Willingboro fans, along with the Chimera Bear on the sidelines here at Willingboro. And I'll tell you, in direct contrast to the Cherokee side, there'll be a big party in Willingboro tonight.
Certainly will. Homecoming, a victory over Cherokee, and it's going to be a hopping town tonight.
All right, here's the return by the Chiefs. And it's brought up to about the 37-yard line. So Cherokee will take it 1st and 10 from there. And a lot of catching up to do with just 10:45 to go.
Matt Reed, 6'1", 170, sophomore. On the carry, gets it up to about the 37, where the Chiefs will start with 10:45 to go.
You know, Donald Crump has almost 100 yards in the second half. It's been the story. Frantz looking deep, has Shivo out there, and Shivo, what a catch by Ralph Shivo, and now you can see why he is rated as one of the best receivers in this county.
I don't believe he caught that ball, Gene. That was an NFL-style catch. He was in the air, turned around, and now Willingboro claiming that they recovered a fumble, but the ball was clearly down. Shivo landed, and that caused a fumble. The Grand Canal calls a fumble. Therefore, it'll stay Cherokee. That was a pro-type catch by Shivo. Boy, I'll tell you, he was in midair and turned around. Great catch.
A 28-yard pass play from Frantz to Shivo. First down for the Chiefs at the 35 of Willingboro, and Frantz now tucks it under and is pulled down at the 34. He picked up 1 yard on the play, but Frantz was looking deep downfield, and the secondary of Willingboro, and especially Sean Scott, were covering like blankets those receivers.
Yeah, he was looking again for Shivo as Shivo started on the left sideline. Willie Washington, the other defensive back, was right on him like a rug and had nowhere to go, did France, so he had to try and run it. And only gained a yard. Looked like he had some daylight, but really couldn't escape the pressure from Willingboro. Couldn't get into that hole.
You know, in our press box preview show, Jim Horner commented on how he was worried about this game. And boy, he's going to say, I told you so, because his team has been rattled by injuries this year. And here's Frantz lighting it up, and great play in the secondary by Willingboro. We'll try to catch a number It looks like number 10 with the big play for Willingboro. We're looking up and down our
Sean
roster.
Scott.
Sean Scott, the man I just mentioned moments ago.
What a play, as he had Waraska wide open, had a step on Scott, but Scott able to reach up and bat that ball away beautifully to keep this game a 20-point Willingboro lead.
All right, it's 3rd and 9 for the Chiefs from the 34 of Willingboro. And now they go to the run with Phil Robinson. Robinson cuts it big. He has one man to beat and is hauled down, but picked up some big yardage for the Chiefs.
It might have been Scott again, as that was a good play call by Horner. Everybody looking for the pass. He went on the delayed draw, a little bit of a delay there, and Robinson almost breaking it, broke through the pack and almost got into the end zone. A 19-yard run. So Robinson catching up to Crump in the yards gain.
And Frantz will set him down. Looks, throws, Shivo's there. Touchdown, Cherokee! Oh my, what a play by Frantz and Shivo, and they should celebrate. That was pretty.
That was unbelievable. Shivo really impressive here in the late going in the 4th quarter. We talked about Cherokee's explosive offense with Shivo. That's what it's all about. Shivo made 2 great catches. That one a 16-yard reception for the touchdown. That was an unbelievable catch. And Shivo now with 2 touchdowns of his own. Cherokee trying to crawl back in this one, but it may be a little bit too late.
All right, Cherokee going for 2 with 9:09 left. Frantz is gonna try to get it away, and it is, almost caught by number 89. Sitting out there was Rich Nosella, and Frantz sidearmed that one from pressure and almost completed the 2-point conversion.
Hey, he was in the grips, and he just got rid of that one, and it was incomplete. Almost a great catch by Nosella.
All right, so 9:09 on the clock, your score. Willingboro 27, the Chiefs 13. We'll be right back. Welcome back here to Carl Lewis Stadium. There's your scores. We have 9:09 left. And Mr. Salkin, you can read off that scoring summary to our folks at home.
63-yard drive, 17-yard pass from Frantz to Shivo. Frantz missed Nosella on the 2-point attempt. 27-13, 9:09 left.
All right, now watch the Chiefs as they will try to come up with some trick play here. Devlin hits a lightning drive downfield, and it's picked up by the Willingboro man, but he will be down at the 21-yard line as his knee was on the grass.
Right, that's exactly what happened, Gene. He had the football in his hand, and he touched the knee to the ground. So Cherokee's ground ball kick works. Willingboro dropped back at their own 20-yard line to start off this drive. I believe that's the worst field position they have had. They've had it at their own 20 once before, but that is it. Only the second time Willingboro has had the ball at their 20, and no worse.
All right, here we go. They're on the move here with the clock. It's 8:54 and counting down here at Carl Lewis Stadium. The lead is back down to 14, but Cherokee almost needs a miracle in this one. Crump is wrestled down behind the line of scrimmage. Big play there by Devlin, number 64.
Talked about Devlin before as he was kicking off. Multi-talented athlete.
Things aren't over yet. It's the Chiefs, who are just known for their character. They're going to try to pull one out here, but it's not going to be easy. 8 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock. They trail by 14.
Well, they've got to get the ball back first before they can put more points on the board, and that means not letting Willingboro get a first down.
It's 2nd down and 11. As Collins hits with his one back, he has a man wide open, and it's intercepted. Intercepted by number 20, Jim Diter, who's having a great game for Jimmy Horner.
Jim Diter, we talked about him plenty during this evening, and that time he intercepted the ball at the 45-yard line of Willingboro with 7:58 to go. I'll tell you, Gene, you know, Cherokee gets a score before the 5-minute mark. It's a 27-20 game. with 5 minutes left, and it could go either way.
All right, we have timeout on the field by Willingboro. Your score, the Chimeras 27, the Chiefs 13. Don't go away. This one's just being done. Welcome back here to Carl Lewis Stadium. There's the score, and here's the setup. The Chiefs have it 1st and 10 from the Chimera 45 on the interception. Here's Robinson on a run. He's down the sideline. He's going to cut it back into the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Cherokee! Oh, baby! We are in a barn burner as 8 seconds have gone off the clock, and we're in a 7-point game right now.
45-yard touchdown run by Phil Robinson, and I think Willingboro was looking for the pass to Cherokee to get back in this one quickly. You know, before we left, I said if Cherokee could score before 5 minutes were gone, they scored before 10 seconds clicked off the clock. This is a ball game, Gene. Anybody who turned this off when it was 21-0 Willingboro has missed a barn burner.
They have a surprise coming, don't they, when they see the repeat? 7:47 on the clock. It's 27-19, and they're going for 2.
Going for 2, going for the victory. They could easily go for 1 and maybe preserve a tie.
Frantz rolls, looks, throws. He's got the 2-point conversion. So we've got a big one going here as Riley catches the 2-point conversion, and your score now is Willingboro 27, the Chiefs 21. Look out, here comes the try. Welcome back here to Carl Lewis Stadium. This is the scenario. The Chiefs have scored twice within a matter of about 2 minutes, and it's 27-21. When you think air dates for this game will run, well, here you go, folks. Here are the air dates. Saturday at 8 o'clock, Tuesday night at 9 o'clock, and Friday night at 8 o'clock. So, boy, if you like football, this is the best you're ever going to see, and it's all on Star Cable, VLCO Channel 8.
And don't forget Press Box 87, half an hour before each game time.
Interviews and highlights from the week before action and our lead-in to this game, and it's a dandy. It's 27-21.
I tell you, as Gene Hart would say, Gene, fasten your seatbelts.
Here's the kick to the upright. And Willingboro down, let's see, at the 29-yard line.
John Moore, 5'11", 200-pound senior, in on the hit on special teams to keep Willingboro back. Summary on that last Cherokee scoring drive, 45 yards, 1 play. Phil Robinson going all the way, the 2-point conversion. Frantz to Riley, 7:47 left. It was 27-21, and Willingboro has the ball at their own 25-yard line. Excuse me, 30-yard line.
Watch out now as the Chimeras need to run the football and get that control of the clock along with some first downs here. They're in the I formation. And the pitch to the deep back. And Crump is pulled down, number 20, Donald Crump is pulled down after a gain of about 3.
And his number 20 counterpart, Jim Dieter, right on the stop. Dieter having a career this evening.
The clock winds down to 6:55 to go here in quarter number 4. We hope you're enjoying it because we are from Carl Lewis Stadium. Donald Crump and company trying to hang on here. The Chiefs have shown us what they are made out of here tonight. Collins with the keeper, and Collins gets to about the 34-35 yard line. A very, very small game by number 5, Mark Collins.
Chris Carman with a great play for this Cherokee defense. I'll tell you, that's a play earlier in the game that Collins was able to break for good yardage. That time, Cherokee's defense is so pumped up. Carmen was able to catch up to him and slammed it to the ground. 3rd and 6. The clock is Willingboro's ally. They will probably keep it on the ground, trying to run as much down to give Cherokee back the ball, and then hope their defense can hold on.
All right, Steve Everett comes into the game for Ty Balfour with a play, and we have a whistle. And let's see.
Willingboro, I think, has called a timeout. If that is true, that would be their 3rd from what we have. That could be a big key down the stretch.
All right, we're going down the stretch. There's 5:56 left in this one. It's Chimeras 27, the Chiefs 21. We'll return with the final 5:56 right after this. Welcome back here to Carl Lewis Stadium. Your score, 27-21. Ty Balfour using a timeout. We have it as his last, but who knows? We possibly could have missed one. We know there's been 4 in this second half.
Big play. This is the play of the game right here. If Cherokee can stop Willingboro, they're in a good shape.
All right, ball spotted at 35. Collins still has it. Collins rips out a 1 tackle, trying to get to that first down marker, and he cannot as Dieter, number 20, makes the tackle of the game.
I'm telling you, between Dieter and Robinson and Shivo, Cherokee is showing them what quality players they have. Dieter, as far as I'm concerned, has been the MVP so far. That was an outstanding tackle. Just the determination involved. He would not let Collins get away from him, and he did all he could. And if they had tearaway jerseys, Collins would have been gone, but fortunately for Cherokee, they don't.
All right, Newman doing the punting here for Willingboro. He already ripped off 1 punt for 41 yards in the first half. A high snap, he controls it and gets off a decent kick. It hits at the 35, it goes to the 25. Cherokee picks it up there, number 10, and that is Matt Reed, and Reed is down at the 29-yard line. So Cherokee takes it there, 1st and 10. They have exactly 5 minutes and 5 seconds to do something.
I'll tell you, that was a fortunate play for Willingboro. That punt took a Willingboro bounce, about 15 yards worth, and all Reed could do was fall on it.
Ends up being a 37-yard punt for Newman with no return. We have official timeout on the field right now, but we'll keep it right here.
4:55 for the Chiefs to get it in the end zone.
Handoff, Riley. Riley comes across the 30-yard line to the 32 for pickup of 3.
Tackle made, I believe, by Lane.
So Riley picks up 3. And if you
know what I think the Chiefs are doing, Gene? I think they're trying to keep Willingboro guessing as to when that big pass is going to come, because they have 4 minutes. That's a good amount of time for them. They can run the ball a few times if they want and try and surprise Willingboro when they're going to go for the long pass.
Good mix of play and pass. That's Jimmy Horner. He's got a man wide open here. Shivo has it for the first down, and he's down to the 44 of Willingboro.
Shivo, another great catch, as that one was a bit overthrown. Shivo leaped in the air and caught it with his hand. And on a cold night like tonight, that is a very tough catch to make before he was brought down.
A 12-yard pass play brings the first down to the Chiefs. They are at the 44, their own 44-yard line.
And again, the Chiefs not taking more than Willingboro is giving them.
And again, the Chimeras have come up with big plays throughout this ballgame. But Robinson cuts it through for 5, and boy, he just missed a vicious hit right there.
He certainly did. He was tackled down there by Bailey.
Robinson has 6 carries for 79 yards in the second half. So he is over 100 right now. With 3.5 to go. This has been everything we expected it to be. Frantz back, looking, throwing, has a man, and it's just out of reach of the wide receiver. And was that Waraska? Yes, it was, number 80. And I'll tell you, I bet you right now, Mr. Frantz is saying, yo, Chris, why don't you grow a little bit? Give me a couple more inches, and you would have had 2 or 3 completions here.
You can see Waraska just throw his hands down as Cherokee calls timeout. He's thinking, you know, if I was 3 inches taller, I would have had a touchdown.
All right, we have a timeout on the field with 3:21. We're coming down to pay their time as this one comes to a close. 27-21. Welcome back here, and there's a look at Terrell Leonard, who scored the last Willingboro touchdown here.
You know, Gene, right now, the difference in the ball game appears to be Chris Waska being 5'9" instead of 5'11" or 6 foot tall.
All right, as Chuck Gillis comes from Willingboro. The Chiefs have it 3rd down and 4.
Another big play.
And there's been so many in this game. Frantz drops, feels the pressure, throws, got his man, Riley, and Riley has the first down to the Chimera 40.
Good play there, tackle made by Willie Washington. A nice play. Frantz really could have probably run the ball, and I think he thought of that, but he saw Riley open along the sidelines for a first down. He didn't get out of bounds, but still the clock will stop until they can set up, and that should give Cherokee enough time to call a play.
All right, the ball is at the 40, between the 40 and the 41, right on the hash mark, with 3 minutes to go here in quarter number 4. Shivo split out wide here to the left, and the Willingboro defense really needs to come up big here as Cherokee is on the move, and Robinson's on the move for 5 yards.
Finally tackled down by Dan Smith, number 66 for the Chimeras. 2:37 to go. Plenty of time for Cherokee. They're at the 37-yard line.
You know, in week number 1, as we have a Fisher's timeout, week number 1, we had Burlington Township at Palmyra in a 12-7 ball game. Week number 2, we came here to Carl Lewis Stadium to see Holy Cross beat JFK 14-7 as we have the 2nd down play here. Frantz drops, looks, it's got a man, it's Shivo, and it's incomplete. And to finish the thought, in our 3rd week, we saw this team, Willingboro, play a tough game against the Pirates of Cinnaminson and came away a victory 2013. And last week, Delran Florence, the Bears 21-6. So we have had some superb high school football here on Star Cable, and this one will not let us down. It's 27-21 with 2:14 to go.
This one will be one to save for the record books, Gene. This is a great high school football game.
The clock will run at the snap. It's 3rd and 6 for Frantz. He gets it away, has a man. There's Waraska, and he fumbles the football. And it's fumbled out of bounds at the 12, and we have flags all over the place.
I'll tell you, that looked like John McAfee, who finally got to that ball. That was probably the smartest thing he could have done. Check that, it was Rich Nocella, the number 89. Probably, although he didn't try to do it, the smartest thing he could have done after the fumble, knock it out of bounds, because Cherokee will get the ball. Not only does the clock stop because it went out of bounds, but they will get it where he knocked it out of bounds at about the 11 or 12-yard line. Just have to wait to see what the penalties are.
I believe they're not going to call a penalty at this time. It is 1st and 10 for Cherokee at the 12-yard line of Willingboro. And they are knocking on the door here in this 4th quarter as they have scored 2 touchdowns already in the quarter. 2:05 on the clock, and Robinson is slammed into the turf by the Chimeras defense, and it might have been Harris.
Looked like it might have been Harris coming through. Hard to tell from our vantage point up here.
And Robinson loses yards. Let's see where they spot it. They lost 2.
They're going to give the tackle to James Bailey, number 56 for Willingboro. And a good play by Jim Horner, not calling his last time out here as there's still a minute and a half to play.
This one coming right down to the wire. Frantz drops, looks, throws, got a man at the 1, and it's Shivo. First down for the Chiefs at the 1 yard line.
Clock will stop to move the chains. Horner does not have to waste his timeout. He's got 1 minute and 21 seconds and 4 plays to get 1 yard, and he should, I think they're gonna give him the first down and stop the clock. Or are they gonna measure? They're gonna measure it.
They're gonna stretch it.
Because he had to get to the 1 to get the first down. Remember, it was first and 10 from the 11 officially on the scoreboard. So he had to get to the 1, and now the official's talking it over as to whether to measure it or not. And that's an important factor.
Well, I am sure they will measure it as they run it across the field with 1:21 to go here in the 4th quarter. Some very anxious moments here for the huge crowd in Willingboro on homecoming 1987.
There you see, you probably have the best angle on your screen right there. You can see the ball, they made it. They have 4 plays and 1 minute and 21 seconds to go 1 yard. They should not have to use their timeout to do it. They should use at least 1 minute of that clock if they don't get it on the first play.
All right, some anxious moments, and Willingboro defense has come up so big here in this ball game. I'm not sure they're just tiring down right now as the constant pounding by this Cherokee line looks like it's taking its toll.
Hey, it goes back to the last time Cherokee scored. They made the 2 points.
All right, here's the play. Inside trap play, and I hear a bunch of fumbles, and Willingboro comes away with the football. With 1:06, it looked like it gets stuffed inside, and Robinson never had a hand on the ball.
They tried to call the delayed trap to the opposite side, did Cherokee. It went awry for the Chiefs, and we mentioned how the breaks go Jim Horner's way. They didn't there, as coming up with the football appears to be number 45, number 43, Steve Everett, I believe, made the fumble recovery, and Gene Willingboro looks to have escaped the guillotine once more here at Carl Lewis Stadium.
All right, let's keep control of this right now. We're under 1 minute to go in this one. 55 seconds and counting, and they have it from the 2 yard line. And all of a sudden, we see some motion on the offense, and I think they're going to be penalized half the distance to the goal.
Cherokee still hoping maybe they can get the ball back and try one last thrust. If they can prevent Willingboro from getting a first down, they still do. They have that 1 timeout left.
All right, they're going to move it half the distance to the goal as it's an illegal procedure against the Chimeras. So now the ball is back at the 1 with 49 seconds on the clock. First down for the Chimeras, and they just straight ahead keep by Collins.
And Cherokee will have to use their last timeout here. Gene, geez, I'll tell you.
What more can you ask
Willingboro
for?
really dodging the bullet.
That defense has come up big all game, and they really stuffed Robinson there. And little Bobby Frantz was saying to the referee, hey, he was down before he fumbled, saying the ground caused the fumble, but the officials were right on it, and you could hear the sideline as soon as that handoff was made, yell, fumble, fumble. Robinson never got real possession of that football.
He never did. You probably heard the guys in the press box next to us from Willingboro cheering, screaming, get that ball, and the crowd erupted, and that's when we knew it.
Check that. From the truck we hear number 35, Riley never had control. Not Robinson, but Riley, 35 on the fumble. 35 seconds to go in this one. Second down at 11. And boy, Willingboro, as we said, have dodged the bullet. What a heart comeback by Cherokee to bring it to within 27-21 and be in a position to win the ball game at this stage.
They certainly were. Boy, what a great ball game we've seen here tonight. It really does not get any better than this when you're talking about South Jersey football, Gene. You're seeing 2 of the best in the county and also 2 of the best in the nation, as Cherokee is up there as high as number 6 in the national polls, and Willingboro was number 3 in South Jersey before their loss last week, and they'll certainly be propelled back up near that spot after this victory.
All right, here Mark Collins on the keep with 30 seconds to go. Just straight ahead running. The clock is winding down on the Chiefs.
And
next
Cherokee
week,
can't stop.
the Chiefs will be at home against Shawnee. And the Chimeras of Willingboro, who have to be so up right now, will go to Pemberton to play the Hornets as we wind it down now to 10 seconds, and the Chiefs can't stop it. it's going to end, and the Chimeras are going to win a big, big homecoming Liberty Division battle against their arch rivals, the Cherokee Chiefs. We're at 000 and the Chimeras, and Willingboro will burn the town down tonight. Your final score is 27 Willingboro, 21 Cherokee, and what was a terrific ball game. Steve, we'll be back with our final wrap-up and more right after this.
Oh, your meal's on us. Oh.
As you could say, the picture says 1,000 words. There's your final score from Carl Lewis Stadium. Chimeras 27, the Chiefs 21. And Steve, you better take a deep breath because you have quite a scoring summary to go through. Let's take it from the top for folks at home.
Started off Willingboro, and it looked like it was going to be all Willingboro at the beginning. First quarter, a 3-play drive, 19 yards after a terrible punt by Cherokee. Ended up with a 4-yard touchdown run by Donald Crump. The point after was good by Nate Harris. 7:46 left in the first quarter. It was 7-0. Second quarter action, 26-yard drive, a 1-yard TD run by Donald Crump, 2-point conversion by Sales on the fake kick. It was 15-0 Willingboro with just a minute and a half, 1:34 exactly in the second quarter. Willingboro opened the third quarter. They had a first and goal from the 10. Cherokee's defense came up big, forcing Willingboro back. They missed a 30-yard field goal. That's when I think the tide began to turn just a little bit. Willingboro came back, however, in the third quarter as well. A 42-yard scoring drive on a 42-yard run by Donald Crump, showing that breakaway speed down the sideline. A point after attempt was no good. With 4:32 left in the third quarter, it was 21-0 Chimeras. Cherokee making their comeback slowly now. Third quarter, a 57-yard drive, 1 play. All they needed was a pass from Frantz to Shivo. The point after was good by Richards. It was 21-7. 4 minutes still remain in the third quarter. And then we entered that fourth quarter, and what a doozy that was. Willingboro opened it, a 68-yard drive, an 11-yard touchdown run by Terrell Leonard in which he ran over about 3 Chief defenders. The 2-point conversion by Collins was no good. It was 27-7 with 10:49 left in the ball game, and a lot of Willingboro fans started to go nuts celebrating a victory there. But the Chiefs stormed back. A 63-yard drive with 9:09 left ended with a 17-yard pass and a great catch by Shivo in the end zone. The 2-point conversion failed. It was 27-13. 9 minutes left in the ball game, and then Cherokee came back again. A 45-yard touchdown run by Phil Robinson, a 1-play drive. A 2-point conversion to Riley was good, and with 7:47 remaining in the ball game, it was a 6-point difference, 27-21. And just towards the end of the ball game, Cherokee, with 1 minute and 5 seconds left, had the ball first and goal on the 1-yard line, and Mike Riley could never get hold of the football. Willingboro recovered Steve Everett, and that clinched it for the Chimeras. But gee, what a ball game we had today.
Boy, what more can you say? You know, there were some great individual efforts all the way around. Let's recap it quickly. Bobby Frantz was 13 out of 27 for 161 yards and 2 touchdowns. Mark Collins was 4 out of 6 for 36 yards and 1 interception. Collins also rushed the ball 12 times for 57 yards. Phil Robinson ran the ball 14 times for 104 yards and 1 touchdown. Mike Riley 9 times for 24 yards. Frank Brancaforte 2 carries for 7 yards. Donald Crump, sensational second half. After being held to 32 yards in the first half, finishes with 26 carries and 149 yards. Terrell Leonard had 2 carries, one of them a big one, a 12-yard touchdown run. Douglas Newman on a big reverse play that got them a first down, had 1 carry for 14 yards. Cherokee had 15 first downs in the ball game to 11 for Willingboro. That each team punted twice. Cherokee for 45 yards, Willingboro for 78 yards. The Chiefs had 1 penalty the entire ball game for 10 yards. Willingboro had 6 penalties for 36 yards. To recap the quarters, at the end of 1, it was 7-0 Willingboro. At the end of 2, it was 15-0 Willingboro. At the end of 3, it was 21-7 Willingboro. And your final score is 27-21 Willingboro there at Carl Lewis Stadium. They've shut the lights out on us here, Steve, but let me tell you this. They're the Liberty Division, and we've talked about the parity with all the coaches in our press box interviews. How's this for you? At this juncture of the season, we have 2 teams which are 4-1, and 3 teams following that which are 3-1, and we'll still have to finish up on our last scores from press box. But ultimately, we can have 4 teams in first place at 4-1.
Certainly could, and geez, what a ball game today. You know, I think one of the best things we saw was at the end of the game when the teams lined up and shook hands. It's a great tradition in high school football and carried into college football, and it was great after a hard-fought contest such as this one, that both teams should go out and shake each other's hand and say, good game, guys, let's go home and have a good time this weekend, because neither team has anything to be ashamed of. And we have to just compliment both teams with a great game. Gee, we have to pick real quick a MVP.
Boy, that's tough to say. We'll leave that for the coaches later on, Steve. So, Steve, I want to thank you again as we're running out of time here tonight. I want to thank you for helping us out here at Carl Lewis Stadium.
My pleasure, Gene. It was a great ball game, and we'll see you next week as well.
All right, next week, of course, we'll be in downtown Riverside, where the Scotties will travel southward down 130 to take on the Rams. So for Steve Salkin and Steve Everett, who helped us out up here in the booth with some stats, this is Gene Prince saying good night from Carl Lewis Stadium in Willingboro. Again, your final score. They'll do some hooting and hollering in the borough tonight. It's Primaris 27 and Chiefs 21. We thank everyone here at Willingboro High School.